Sports. It's
right,
a content streamer tournament.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it.
Let's go.
Well, that's the attitude. There we go, Grubby.
All right, guys, we're
got
going
it.
into game one on Hammerfall.
Right, let's go. So, SingSing
got-
versus the Viper.
Yep, he's
This
ready.
is the Viper up here in the top left, and we've got SingSing in the bottom right.
Okay, gonna swap their position.
This game's going to be casted by
Overlay.
Grubby and Tasteless.
Well, confirmed he's not AFK. He was ready. You know, I bring a lot of pro player
I'll bring my thoughts into this as well as we go.
when tournament orgs started the game before my explicit and recent ready. Like sometimes they're like ready, I say ready. Then they wait another 5 minutes as they yap or organize something. And I'm not ready anymore because I'm in like a heightened state of anxiety. Like it can start anytime.
Yeah.
It's like standing in the middle of the road with your eyes closed, not sure if something is coming. And so I always wanted like a recency ready. I'm trying to accord that level of respect to SingSing, but he's just there, always ready. Okay.
Can you guys remember the last time you felt like super nervous about something? Not necessarily the last time, but one of the times you did. Because that just made me think of that, really. When I was like about 10 or something like that, I did a swimming competition, and it's against other schools, and it was like for the fastest, swimmer to get the medal and stuff like that. And that level of nervousness I had going into that. On the bright side of the story, I ended up winning, but it was like this insane sense of butterflies. But that sort of gave me so much power to just really plow through. When you stepped on the football field in your younger days. Yeah, it might be like some of your earlier memories, because I don't think I've ever felt like as nervous as I did when I was like a kid, like doing that.
For 2-base, only SingSing knows.
Okay, well, SingSing's going for the Archmage this time around. You're going to have to correct me. Like, I actually don't know what I'm talking about. But if you're going to go Archmage, you kind of have to expand. Is that correct? Or is it really optional?
Not necessarily. Just like the Crypt Lord, Archmage
Okay.
being a summoner hero that can help expedite an early expansion. But Archmage also brings the Brilliance aura, which supercharges hero mana.
He's got interesting
replenishment,
build there
as
with the
well as
farms.
unlocking the unit tech at tier 2 of Arcane Sanctums, which brings sorceresses and priests.
SingSing
Without Archmage,
expands a
they
lot, by the
generally
way.
don't have enough mana to be as
So
effective.
expect him to do
So
that.
you can either fast expand, or you can play for a quick Arcane Sanctum rush. Looks like Tasteless SingSing will be creeping the expo, which doesn't necessarily mean he'll be taking it.
Needs to pull that
Okay,
water
so
mental
he's going to
back.
creep this now. Now, I want to tell you that if this Farseer
'Cause you can
comes
keep
and
it to do
harasses him,
damage.
I want SingSing to lose the game because I feel like then I don't look as bad for my loss. I'm like, see, no one can stop this.
That makes sense.
True.
But the Spear Wolf's going to come down here, and it looks like
He's
it's a
very
scout,
funny, yeah,
and
Tasteless.
I wasn't sure. Is the Viper going to try to go inside the main base? It looks like he is. So he's going to come in here and try to hit workers. I would imagine this could prompt the peasants to go into militia, and then he might try to run away again.
He's good because he's
Yeah.
only using a
Once
couple.
they turn into militia, they're not
Don't
as
send them all
vulnerable.
into
They'll
militia.
fight back.
Just
They
get a
can
couple.
experience from killing those wolves. Viper actually resummoning wolves, trying to go in on militia. Not really a very good play usually, because militia have 3 armor and a better armor type. Don't take bonus damage from wolves. That's plus 20 experience for SingSing,
Yeah.
killing one of those wolves. And
He's
the
not
second
moving the
wolf
wolves
falling
around
rapidly as well.
enough.
And look what SingSing did. He's basically doing the equivalent of your build. Instead of Nerubian, it's an Arcane Tower, which is going to be able to burn mana on the hero as well as remove health on summons.
Oh, is my
So
cam in
SingSing
front of
does a
Tasteless?
safe
Sorry.
version of expansion with the tower
Because he's moved him
early
down
and
there
then
now.
waiting until he has
I
enough
guess I'll
money
just
for
do
a
here
town
or
hall,
something.
while using his footment pressure
Thanks
to
for letting me
drive
know.
Viper all the way back to his base.
Cheers,
so
Matt.
Very similar game flow to your Orc Undead matchup.
Yeah,
Hello.
and I think in this game, SingSing's pretty effectively driven the Viper away. It looks like he's probably going to pick off this footman here.
Ooh.
Nice blocking. That was sick. Getting that Spirit Wolf in front of him so that the unit can't kind of
Arcane
glide
Tower being up
past.
there is really
Yeah.
good for...
Yeah, using that body
and
block
then-
mechanic. So Viper shows up now at the expansion. The tower is done. But if Viper knows that you can just click down the town hall, this is an opportunity. In my opinion, he could click down the town hall. Headhunters do quadruple damage on unfinished buildings.
Isn't that
compared to
crazy?
finished
Why
buildings.
range units do like 4 times damage? That's so ridiculous.
Seems like he's not aware of that, but you are right. Like buildings,
It's
that
one of the
are
things that makes
making
range so
are
strong.
So much weaker
4
than
times
finished
damage.
structures, where it feels like you almost can't kill a finished structure, especially if there's any peasants there to repair it. But he's going to stay out of range here. So this Arcane Tower, it can't really be utilized. everything that the Viper's fighting with right now is ranged. So he can generate a lot of threats here. No one's going to be able to basically creep or level up unless they're picking off an enemy unit, like maybe this footman over here on the side.
You think Tasteless just learned that and says it with confidence?
On that, or...
Yes, it's not easy to be shoutcasting a game you're obviously not very experienced with. So you are going to hear... It is interesting, the insights and stuff like that, but it's not necessarily right for the right reasons, so to speak. But it's still cool to listen to.
Them have been turned into militia to help defend. That
yeah,
means
just
that
say it with
his
confidence.
It's going to be extremely slow. This is something Viper is achieving.
Yeah, looks like... Oh,
do you
hold
see
on.
this?
Now we're talking.
This is the Fire Lord. Have you faced the Fire Lord?
Yeah. Only once or twice.
This
so
could
tell
be
me about
GG, honestly.
Yeah, the Fire Lord is
this could
pick
just
up from the
be
neutral
GG.
tavern. It's an instant hire instead of a 55-second training time from the altar. He is the best rushing hero in the game. You use him when you want to punish someone,
SingSing's
taking an early
taking
greedy
so much
risk
from
like
this.
an expansion.
Archmage
The
desperately
Lava
wants level
Spawn
3.
Is an extra summon, an extra bonus army.
But
and
Viper's
he's just
pulling those units
slaughtering
back.
SingSing's army right here. He's trying to run away with his headhunters. Really nice splitting by SingSing. Kills one of the headhunters with one footman. Militia chasing another headhunter, but will be turning around. SingSing is losing a lot. He's down to maybe, what, 1 or 2 footmen, Tasteless?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty bad right now. Everything's very low HP.
Archmage is almost level 3.
Baited out. It looks like they're going to be falling.
If he still has enough mana left, he can get level 2 water
in
elementals.
the mail right now, headed southbound. This is looking really bad for SingSing. Like the Viper, if he can do just a little bit more damage and then figure out which of the 3 Archmages is
level 2.9 on the Archmage.
Earlier, it seems like he's going to ignore that for the time being. But yeah, this is really bad. A lot of
Just
damage
needs one more
happening here.
juicy
No peasants
kill.
in the main mining wood, a couple mining wood over.
Viper's not going to give it though.
But you know, if the main falls,
Lava
here,
spawn
all the
splitting.
infrastructure for humans going to be gone.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a mercenary count to get bonus units. There are 2 lava spawns right here. The way that these lava spawns work, it's a very interesting mechanic. They need to hit 14 times. Once they do, they split like a hydra.
More militia coming in, peasants, everything.
They will regain life, they will regain time. So this can really get out of hand.
This is strong.
Look, they're splitting like gremlins fed after midnight.
The peasants are getting lower and lower here. A couple of militia are going to come here and try to get this,
lava spawn. Off it goes.
Spawn. A big level up right
Jeez,
now. Level 2
that's
and level 3 here against one level 2 Archmage. It's kind of entombed in the base. There's not really anywhere to go.
God damn.
There's nothing left.
Has he been holding back,
yeah,
Mr.
there's
Viper?
nothing left. It's going to be an execution
SingSing's
here by
gonna
the
have to
trees in the
adapt.
corner. I think the Viper has snowballed this rush into...
Yes, that is absolutely true. I think SingSing is going to be a lot more cautious, or at least aware in the next game. So this should be fun to see how he adapts to this. Viper did a lot better than I was expecting him to do there, because going off the MMR, he's quite far behind, really, the higher players. So he really kicked ass here. But this was very much an all-in, and he's going all-in, and he did it well. So can he do it again in the next game? But I think this is super hard for SingSing to come back for on this one.
Not leave games easily, and he's won some impossible-looking games. Very impressive. The guy has grit, but an insurmountable advantage like this from the Viper is this still possible for him, Tasteless?
I think this is probably a situation he can't recover from. You're right. I mean, he's pretty scrappy. He's going to try to bounce back. He's going to lose all his farms.
It's 1-to-1 base
two
now.
farms in the game right now.
So
there's going to be 0 farms in a
you've
second.
lost any advantage you had.
He does have a decent number of peasants here. It looks like there's actually a Tome of Strength behind the gold mine that was never grabbed. I'm sure he'll be able to get that once he actually has, or if he actually notices it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, this is rough, but it's not a kill yet. He's going to try to fight through this. I guess, you know, like on a pro gamer level, you would say like, well, this game's won, right? Because the damage has been done. But we don't know. We don't know. I mean, everybody's still so new at this game. There could be some kind of way, some kind of solution here.
Very interesting split off by the Viper. Just sending his fires here, feeling a lack of threat of doing this. There's
that's
no
high level.
that Stormbolts around yet. He's just like, what are you up to? Meanwhile, he's killing barracks and town hall. With his Firelord and Headhunters. What's coming up behind this? We've got Raiders coming, Tier 3,
That's
Torrent
impressive.
Totem. So
see, the
Viper is
Archmage
still
isn't
going
creeping
to the
now
space
because he's
age,
just
and he's
dedicated the
fighting
extra
SingSing, who's still in the
APM
Stone
to
Age,
put
coming
one
at him
fast
with
here.
Cudgels and
Keeping an eye on him.
stones. And he's going to invent rockets. That's kind of the state of things
The extra
right now for
effort
the
pays
Viper.
off.
So it's like a level 3 Archmage. I mean, do you stay on one hero for a while, or are you going to try to? Because from my perspective as a really very bad undead player, I'm always trying
He
to
needs
get
to get
3
bloody
heroes.
altar again, doesn't
Is
he?
there a
Does
perfect
he still have the altar?
recipe for what
Is
you
that
want
the
to try
last
to
building
tech into
left?
here?
Well, Tasteless, you picked one of the hardest races, if not the hardest race. Did you know that when you picked Undead?
No, here's what happened to me is
No.
I was asking around. I said, okay, so who's the best Warcraft player? And
Oh,
everybody said
no!
Happy.
No!
And I remember I remember back in the day, everybody said Undead was hard, but I heard they were patching the game. So in my head, I thought, oh, okay, I guess they fixed it, and maybe it was like an overcorrection. And so I kind of thought, oh, this will be a good way to approach it. And so, no, I mean, I'm very unhappy with my choice. Although I'll tell you what, I do like Undead. Like,
Yeah.
I've enjoyed playing it. Like, I could stick with it, but I think it was probably a bad call for me. I probably should have picked something. I probably should have picked Orc and gone Farseer every game.
Yeah,
That's what I
Orc
should have done.
Farseer, or like Human with Archmage and, you know, Summoner Hero or something, rifles, Paladin Rifle or something, would maybe be
Yeah.
the strategical choices. But you know what? It's more important that you're passionate about what you're doing. So you like Undead, that's good. But to answer your question, Undead typically kind of has to play triple hero, whereas most other races are more likely to play 2. And to kind of compare where you're at, Tasteless, you're 2 weeks into your practice. When I was 6 months
Yeah.
into my Warcraft 3 practice, before time immemorial, like, you know, 5,500 years ago, I was 6 months
Yeah.
into my practice. I felt 3 heroes is too much to control. You're 2 weeks in.
Oh, yeah, it's... Well, also, sometimes I just, like, lose track of one of the heroes. I'm
Yeah.
like, where's my Lich? You know? But,
Yep.
I mean, here we've got... In this game, it's kind of a similar situation to what was happening with the fight earlier. We have, like, a turtled up SingSing who's kind of
I've
staying
started a
in the back.
prediction for you,
The
lazy
footmen or
boys.
melee, I assume he probably got that...
Not sure if
what
I'm
is that
gonna
upgrade where they hold the shield up?
A defense upgrade.
Pay it off,
yeah.
though,
Oh,
afterwards.
He has it.
Yeah, so he's got it, but then you can just kite this, right?
Yeah.
So I think this could be the beginning of the end. I mean, we're just seeing these numbers thin out. The Viper's fanning his army out really nicely.
Peasants, peasants
more-
are coming.
It's not that pointless.
Yeah. And I think... I don't know. I mean, am I wrong about this?
For
This
all the
feels like
matches
it's going to be over in a second.
Between the Viper and
I
Sing
mean,
Sing.
the GG timing on SingSing is late, as
So I'm streaming this at twitch.tv/witty. We do predictions, so I've set that up. Who do you think's going to win between the Viper and the Sing Sing? Obviously, you'll be leaning towards the Viper after this first game, but remember, this is a best of 5, so quite a few more games to potentially go.
Speaking of which, GG is called...
wow.
And the reign of Farseers destroying honorable macro players in this
Orc
tournament
OP.
continues on.
This is a good opportunity to say Orc OP.
Honorable macro players, dude. It's so funny because, you know,
Okay.
SingSing as a human, TommyKay, the other human in the tournament, they've been complaining about Orc because Orc is the one race that won't let you get away with a term that I personally coined, eco cheese.
Eco cheese. Okay, I like that. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Never- I mean, surely
You don't know how to play the game right. You just get all the money and spend it.
Yeah, you know, here's who I see as eco cheesers: Idra, human players, right? You're
100%. Eco cheese in that regard is very popular now in StarCraft 1. There's a lot of players that go like blind command center first.
Oh my
And if you
God.
scout it late, you're like, oh, I'm already behind.
Yep.
Okay.
Guess I lost. Opponent flipped a coin and went for eco cheese. You know, if you put
Yeah,
your
I guess she's
blinders
better than
on
me.
and you make 100 drones in StarCraft 2, and you don't prepare for the 50 probe all in with immortals and 8 gateways behind it, which was really nice build. Is it really the Orc that cheesed, or did you do an eco cheese? Like, can I?
This is why I've always thought StarCraft, and mostly StarCraft, because I don't know StarCraft anywhere near as well as StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 is like the hardest game because it's like you have to be like always aware of what your opponent is doing, because if you get caught off by the Dark Templar, for example, or any other thing, if you just miss this one proxy building that's a tech building for something else that's going to cause you a lot of trouble down the line, even though you scattered his base, he might have hidden it somewhere else on the map, and the maps are pretty big in StarCraft 2, so it always felt like a headache to play it if you had to play on the higher levels. Not that I played it on that higher level, but when I did, it's just like it felt like you had to just keep an eye and be constantly paranoid all the time. You couldn't really enjoy the game as much. You have to be a very specific type of player and have that kind of mindset going into it that you're absolutely fine with just constantly scouting everywhere on the map. I'm far too lazy to do like constant scouting.
You for that series, I would have had you cheese. There were some
You would
cheese.
have had me cheese.
Yeah, there were some cheese that you could abuse against the way that the orcs are playing, where they do the Farseer, they don't be on scout. I would have had you take your Crypt Lord, you take your 3-4 ghouls, you get the fuck out of your base, Rod of Necromancy, you take the long route, you go to Africa, you pick up a couple of sheeps in the corner of the map, you do summon beetles and skeletons, you take a 8 summon unit, and you go to their main base. They're in your base wondering where everything is. And you get to their base with like 12 summons. You surround the burrow, kill 1, surround second burrow, kill 2. I can't believe Terra had you keep trying fast expand, man. Like, the Farseer kept coming in and disrupting you. You need to
What
take
was
the fight
Terra
back to them.
thinking?
Keep them honest with the cheese.
That is so funny. That's like, oh my god, yeah. See that's one of the, it's like making 2 gateways in somebody's main base, right? It's like this is just really hard to stop at this level. See, I hadn't even thought. Yeah, you're right. I think I approached the game from too much of like the try hard like textbook. It's like that meme of the bell curve, right? Where there's the dumb guy and the smart guy on either side.
This is the prediction,
and
by
then
the way.
guy with the bow tie in the middle. the bell curve meme, and I was that guy, like trying to
SingSing
play
and the
correctly
Viper. Looks like
when
you
I
guys are
should've just
really
been
hamping on the
going
Viper
for
at the
some kind of
moment.
crazy all-in cheese.
Which, to be fair, is the most satisfying way, because that's the way you practiced. And you shouldn't, like, get up in your head and be like, oh, the way I practice isn't good enough now because I'm facing someone. Oh, by the way, the game name is in the Discord lobby. It's the same game name.
I'm sorry. Everybody's waiting on me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say
give me
it.
1 second.
No trolls have been joining.
Yeah. Just
Viper too.
break the. Sorry, 1 second.
It's Viper Sing 2.
Viper Sync 2. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Tell me now.
But yeah, no,
Okay.
I like the way that you just approach where you practice it the way that you prepared. Like you do the tournament the way you prepared. But yeah,
Right.
I see the Orcish main exposed. I think, all right, let's ghoul rush that. We go around the corner. But to be honest,
I like that. That definitely would have been a good play. Sorry, go ahead.
Terror, your coach, he has been he's been putting so much energy into helping you prepare for this. It's really lovely to see.
It's good. You know, I'm glad I can actually. I mean, not that I'm good, but I could sort of play Warcraft now because it's a game I always kind of wanted to learn. But you know, one of the challenges with RTS games in general is you have to drink in a lot of information before you're even able to hang.
Kind of
right?
pick your poison a little bit, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of, when I was coaching people, chat's always like, you're overloading them with info. And I'm like, but that's what Warcraft 3 is all about. There's so much knowledge. If we don't get started now, then when?
No,
You can dip your toes into other RTS, but to like play it seriously for like a tournament, which means that you want to win the tournament because there's money on the line as well as reputation, and it's a lot to really learn the game. You can get like surface level of the game by playing the campaign, but to really learn the game, you have to go quite deep. And an RTS is so much more involved than just to pick up and play first-person shooter or something, you know?
Yeah. Like, he can't read at all. No, he has chat disabled on purpose, right? But that works only in the game. I don't think it works in this lobby. You can never see your messages. Okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna start. Like, we're just
start,
gonna
yeah.
start.
yeah, we'll just start it.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, Viper's ready.
SingSing.
Yeah. Look, that Farseer's coming. SingSing, watch out.
Yep.
My game was a cautionary tale for what this whole tournament's
That's
going to look
good.
like. It's going to be Lord of the Rings, but the orcs won in this one. Is what's going down in this tournament.
I see. Orc
It's
mirror.
bad ending to Lord of the Rings here. Yeah.
Wait, what happens if they both sprint into each other with the Farseer then? Like Orc Mirror Finals, both run at each other with the Farseer?
Yeah.
What happens then?
It's just going to be an orc civil war for the finals here.
What about their legs? They don't need them. They start killing each other. Oh,
So
I didn't
in this
expect
game
this.
we got Viper top left,
Yep.
and SingSing bottom right.
Yeah, I did not expect this for Viper to take the 1-0 lead here against SingSing because SingSing, oh man, like it's crazy. He's playing at a really high MMR. He studied his opponent. He knows what to expect.
I think SingSing should
and
stand
Viper
much
just
more
takes the
chance
game
this time.
that easily. Like, it wasn't even close. It's a very strong statement.
He can
from,
definitely learn from that
the Viper
previous
here in the first
experience
map. And we're gonna have to
quite
see
quickly.
how SingSing adapts. Tasteless.
The thing is,
Yeah, you know, I
haven't seen too many SingSing games, but the ones that I did, he seemed to almost always fast expand, from what I understood, or at least people said he always fast expands. So if that's his thing, yeah, he could cause himself a lot of trouble by basically making it easier for his opponent to pick him up. Like, the Farseer is very good at punishing fast expands.
Isolated and picked off. Was there something he should have done better? Did he need to make more militia or be more conservative with the Archmage or what?
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's tough. Think of it like this. SingSing did the equivalent of a double 15 hatch, Heart of the Swarm terms, where he's mass ecoing and he has a really late spawning pool and no zergling speed. So he's going for the fastest possible expansion variant where you creep it immediately. There is another variant where you do
that
camp
tower
1,
position
camp 2
suggests he wants an expansion.
So this gives you
Because it's at the bottom left of his base.
A
You
larger
notice the tower
army,
going up. Those
better
militia are stuck, by the way.
More forgiveness in the bonus resources you have.
He seems to
lying
do that a
around.
lot. His militia
It
don't
gets
come
you
through very
tower in your
smoothly.
main base, like Sing is
Because of the
building
way
a
he puts
tower in
his
main
farms.
right now. So he's doing this really ramshackle build, which means everything has to be perfect. The burden of execution on him is really high. And he knows this, by the way. I coached him this
on his
to
way.
explain that there's different variants. He's doing the same thing again, the early fast expansion, and there's just no room for mistakes. So he has to do everything perfectly. Viper's here already. That's what's going on, Tasteless.
Should be another water elemental. Yeah, go.
Okay, here we go.
Water elemental can't attack, but at least he gets
he's
it
gonna be able to
crit.
clear the creeps basically uninterrupted.
Yeah.
This seems to be the technique.
He needs to kill off his own water
You
elemental.
take
Good.
one, well, in my case, it was a ghoul.
He needs
but in
to
this game,
poke the
a footman and
Farseer.
right-click it. From what I understand, the Farseer doesn't have that much HP, but then again, neither does the Archmage. But you can kind of just force him to kite that. The Headhunters are here. The Scout Tower started, so we've got a little bit of time before there can be an Arcane in this game, but it seems like there's enough. Oh, one footman goes down.
He denied
like
it,
there's gonna
though.
be enough.
But I didn't
hold
even...
on a second.
Was it the
He's actually
water
doing
elemental
some decent
deny?
damage on these peasants.
Really good harassment with the wolves and with the micro with the headhunters. SingSing uses an approach where he sends some of his army after the range, but Viper kites it perfectly. So SingSing has an arcane tower in his main. That was kind of a problem last game where he didn't have that, and he's making one here as well. It's going to take about 40
His
seconds
expansion's
to
still going
finish.
to take a long time,
Once
which I
that's
think
there,
is
he can make his town
what
hall
cost
again.
him the last game as
Hopefully
well.
for SingSing with fewer losses. But at the moment, it's Viper that's killing everything.
Because you need that
There's
money
been
coming
one
in.
wolf kill that gave experience to SingSing.
He might need to
but
double
every
barracks
other
as
loss
well.
has been on the
Get
side
more
of SingSing,
footmen,
to the
defend, and
credit
stay
of the
tier
Viper.
1.
And he's kept
just
his
survive the
units
initial
pretty healthy. So looking pretty
aggression.
good again for the Viper initially, but it's too soon to say, really.
Ideally,
these
you
are
tech,
like
but
expected
it's
losses.
easier said than done. Lumber is really hard to get
this
when
is
you go
kind
for
of a
fast
painful
expanders
moment here
human.
because there's no weak target to kill to get. Oh no, hold on. There's one footman down here. It would be if he could just use that to boost himself into level 2. You know, it's rough when you're kind of locked out of level 2 and they're continuing to progress on the map here.
Well, really cute move by Viper. He uses the remainder of one wolf that got denied by creeps to wake up the creeps. The creeps get mad. They're now attacking SingSing. They even cast a Fairy Fire on one of the footmen, which drops its armor from 2 to -2, which actually means everything deals bonus damage on it. Look at that. Viper's doing it again, hoping like, hey, maybe you're going to walk into this camp. Very cool use of map mechanics.
That's very cool to see. God, the Viper's so good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how he's trying to basically fish out the creeps to interfere with what SingSing's got over here, that little push from him to try to
It still
drive him
takes
back.
too long.
But now the Viper's going to lean in. He's going to come towards this town hall. I don't know if this is going to be a factor or not. You were kind of talking about like deleting buildings that are under construction because they're so vulnerable. I wonder if he could do that here. He's going to start.
Yeah,
You see
is
how
that
much
base too
damage
far
it's
away?
taking, but you need to be there roughly
insane.
in the first 20%. So it's too late. It is nice damage though, and could definitely help if you follow up into a Firelord attack again, maybe a Raider follow-up. We do have a Torrent Chieftain in production right now. It looks like Viper may not believe that
Viper's backing off a bit more.
Firelord follow-up is the correct call again. So he's going to fall back and maybe creep, maybe his own natural, I'm not sure.
So
Okay.
with the Viper backing up, it seems like he's done some damage, but he actually has to start to play catch up here with the leveling. This is going to really loosen the pressure here on SingSing. I mean, he's basically been under threat the whole time, trying to just stabilize.
I think the human expansion is one tile too far away, but that, if you look at it, or from the glimpse you got from it, is because of the arcane tower. It's basically, I think he prioritized the arcane tower being in a really good position. It's like snuck at the bottom left, hard to get to, but the sacrifice of that is the town hall is there. I think you could still put the town hall to the right and just put a farm above the arcane tower, but hey,
1,800 gold.
Pressure.
So Viper's down about 1,800, let's say 2,000 gold in this game. Once his expansion is up and running. So how can you ever come back from 2,000 gold deficit? Well, he killed some things, which gave him experience. He has a faster tier 2 tech, so he has higher quality units. He's got raiders.
He's got raiders and snare.
Full regeneration is finished, which makes these headhunters heal without the need for a heal salve. And he's gonna get a higher level second hero because it's farming already. So somehow, Viper's second hero strength has to offset the amount of bonus gold that SingSing is accumulating.
Interesting. Well, they're just neighbors right now, creepy next to each other. I don't know if we're going to have it engaged. It'll depend. Okay,
There'll be a scuffle.
Viper maybe going to move down here. SingSing going to grab the replenishing potion. The question, I guess, is going to be, is the Viper going to pursue this? A water elemental is thrown up here in the front to basically buffer and create kind of a meat shield, and that's going to allow SingSing to escape.
Yep, SingSing gonna, just like you said, it's just letting it get attacked, but not feeding it in experience either. Sending it back to his main behind the towers. SingSing right now is making a second tower in his main, a guard tower. Same for his expansion. Just one arcane, one guard. Getting his blacksmith up. Lots of footmen here, but wait, does he not have the defend upgrade?
Shockwave?
Oh, he does.
So
he's taking
he's got the
50%
endurance.
reduced damage from headhunters.
Shockwave would be insane there. Turin Chieftain could get level 2 here, though, with a couple more kills, and then he can blow through his mana to get even more. So it's actually almost worth committing to a rough fight there.
Militia, and I think the Viper smartly just backs up.
He's going to get these water mentals, so that's level 2.
Pretty squishy units.
And then the Shockwave comes in.
TC level 2.
Turin Chieftain levels
it's big.
Up. Yeah.
That means he's going to have Shockwave. He's got them lined up.
Oh, he went Warstomp, actually.
Okay. Warstomp is very good to control enemy Mountain King, rifles, and casters. It's a little harder to get in position for it than Shockwave. It also doesn't do peasant damage in the same way. Usually you pick Shockwave against Expos at the high level anyway, but both are really, really good.
He's got to protect that altar. Repair. He's not going to get the Mountain King.
This is an extremely important building because it has the Mountain King building inside of it. This
starting to get rifles now. He needs to pull some militia.
I almost
Anything
feel like that
you can
plays
bring
into the
just
Viper's hands. He
deal with
draws
this
them
for
and
the
he takes
moment.
out a lot of these very weak units.
Those
He'll
free
then change his
lumber
fire
peasants
to
at
be
the
on
bottom.
top of the peasants and try to drive them away. The Mountain King is about 75% complete. I think it should be able to get out.
Got a bit more now.
We got to see how many losses exactly SingSing's going to suffer in this process.
See, exactly. He's forced to pull militia, so the question is,
you select the injured militia and press W. That sends it back to a working peon.
Follow-up. So many peasants are dying.
So that's something SingSing needs to work on a bit as well.
Mining right now in the main. Mountain King comes out with 4 Stormbolts.
They've both got expansions, by the way. Look at the top on the minimap.
Viper's maybe down about
so
2
Viper's
so far. Greater healing potion on the Turin
He's got the expansion as well. Because I was going to say the thing that SingSing has here is his expansion.
He's still able to put some pressure over here. And I guess from this point on, it looks like the Viper decides to go ahead and try to go creep or move somewhere else. Good hold there by SingSing.
Very good hold by SingSing. He brought all the boys. He did have like 10 footmen or so, every single one of which is dead. He brought many militia, many died. Viper is now exhausting the creep resources on the side of the map for SingSing, which means eventually SingSing will need to move further out, which draws the fight closer to Viper's side of the map, which means faster reinforcements, less available use of militia, which only lasts
He's way further ahead on hero power.
And during all this, Viper has got up his expansion. He's got his Tauren Totem coming. His burrows are defended with reinforced
If he went for a shredder,
a bunch of raiders, and SingSing
he could comfortably get Taurens
on his first unit. He's got priest. No, wait, he's not even opening with a priest or sorceress. He's getting priest upgrade first and the second sanctum. So Viper very far ahead in unit count and quality at the moment.
And now the Viper is going to be creeping on SingSing's side of the map. I think it's a great opportunity. While SingSing is, you know, kind of pressed inside
Good
of
observation.
His base and having to macro, you can just scoop up all this extra experience and really charge up those 2 heroes, the Tauren Chieftain as well as the Farseer here. It looks like SingSing's going to come in here just... Oh, it looks like the Viper's going to be pretty cautious. He's going to go ahead and just back up. I don't think SingSing could really contest that, though. He's got, what, 5 riflemen?
SingSing's not getting much done here.
2 heroes compared to a pretty huge army.
You can definitely feel the pressures on him.
And it looks like the Viper also... SingSing also forgot to upgrade thermal lances. His riflemen don't have the range upgrade that gives 200 bonus range.
Is it called thermal lances?
Very important
upgrade what the hell is that
rifles,
called?
and he doesn't have it, and I feel like he'll forget to use it.
So this is a big play right here from SingSing. He's going to try to come in here and take out the you know, one of the 2 biggest camps on the map here in the top right. And the Viper is actually just next door. There's no way SingSing can kill this off in
SingSing is not getting much of a break.
That's crazy.
I would have
That's
Storm
a crazy
Bolt,
intuition by
Raider,
the Viper
Focus
coming
Fire,
in here
TP.
and getting the creep jack.
So
One
he's still going to get it.
kill from
So that's
SingSing.
good, at
Nice
least.
job there, targeting that Raider and Storm Bolting it.
If your base defense is okay, you need to move straight away to like the left-hand side of the map and try to get the other juicy creep camps, because you know your opponent is here. So you need to go to like the opposite location of where they are if you don't feel like engaging them, or you don't think they're going to attack into your base. And he's got a couple of towers and such. So yeah, he needs to move. And he needs to start getting experience, because your opponent's taking that experience away from you. So you're even further behind. So you need to take the 2 juicy ones. They're orange and red. And then you can try to equalize a little bit.
So he's at 400 range instead of 600. Actually, my last competitive game in SC2, I forgot Thermal Lances. It was against Happy, the player that you modeled your race pick after.
Yes,
painful memory. So sorry if my PTSD leaks in sometimes.
It's actually going to be a big attack on this bottom left creep camp too, the other hyper valuable camp. The Viper's preoccupied right now, taking out
Mountain King getting beaten
the
up.
smaller camp over here. So I think SingSing's going to be able to get away with this one. Oh my God, he almost lost that.
But yeah,
Scary moment there.
Good creeping, like you said, by SingSing, finding space on the other side.
So this camp's going to be cleared. The Viper's going to come down here and press the second base here.
I mean, he's
and
got a
SingSing's
decent
gonna have
chunk
to come
of
in here
range
from the
units
side.
now,
He's
SingSing,
got
and
his
the
Mountain
priests.
King very low on HP. Remember that.
So if he
because
can
that could
sort
be
of get a
pretty,
good
high
block.
value target. And the Viper's going to stay wedged in this side. He's taking some damage from that Arcane Tower.
Viper's playing it
It's
safe.
Nicely turtled back behind that. And as SingSing approaches in, I think the Viper decides this is sort of an uncomfortable angle to try
You know
to
what would
fight
be
at
really
in
good for
three
SingSing?
Yeah,
Is
good
to get
call.
Blizzard.
I like that pullback for Viper
Blizzard
a lot.
would look
I think
really good
SingSing
right now.
would love to take a fight there. Both very good on their upgrades. They're at 2-1 attack upgrade and armor each on rifles and headhunters.
Thunderclap's
We've got
nice.
the big fight coming. It's 78 population for
Why
both of
build
them.
breakers? Just a bit of front line. Not too
Yeah,
bad
looks
against
like
the Turin
one of the
chieftain.
Raiders in
Get
the
his
front
mana
is gonna
down.
go down. The
Mountain King is out.
very low, 27 HP. It's
Unlucky.
killed off.
This is too open ground.
Such a sick War Stomp location, getting all those rifles and the
This is
Mountain
a
King as
lot
well.
for Viper.
Another War Stomp coming in hot against the rifles in the backline. Breaker's taking away some of the mana for the Tauren Chieftain, but he pulls back smartly. Has more War Stomp.
See, if you had-
but his
I know
mana
you
got
can't have
removed once
Blizzard
again
'cause
by
he's-
the Breaker. SingSing
he
falling
hasn't
back
had
and
that
trying
luxury
turtle up.
to
Even making a
have the
second
knowledge for it,
blacksmith
but-
here, just to protect his town hall, maybe.
It would do a lot.
I think so.
I think it's just the
I gotta say, I
pressure is
feel
getting
like,
to
right
SingSing
now,
here.
The Viper's
Viper is
kind of
held
trading
back. How
pretty
did you on
nicely.
1300
This angle
MMR?
between the T's, the trees, excuse me.
This is why I was
it's kind of
surprised when I saw him on
uncomfortable bottleneck. I don't
1300
know how much
MMR.
more the Viper can push in, but we're starting to see SingSing pull back a little bit. And this Kodo Beast now joining the army.
Yeah, great point, Tasteless.
Maybe not for long.
The Viper and SingSing both understand the use of space very well, trying to get that sweet concave
Orc was
to
buffed.
deploy well. And anytime their
Human
army
nerf.
gets out of control and moves
Still
too
though.
far forward, as I kind of jinxed the Viper there with some of its units being forgotten, they pull back and try to reclaim space in a more comfortable location.
I mean, he is a
Okay, so he's gonna
tournament
come
player,
down
right,
again.
Viper? So he maybe did
And,
deliberately.
I mean, we don't have that many more creeps left on this map.
Has a second
I don't
account or
know-
something.
Well, hold on a second. He's going to try to push up a little bit further here. Is this an overextension maybe from SingSing?
Looks like it might be. Tauren Chieftain does have invulnerability potion.
Mountain King
but-
getting
and there is
deep
a
in
TP
there.
here still on the Farseer. There's a lot of low units that could be targeted down. Unfortunately for SingSing, his rifles are still really short range. He's got a down portal out. It's kind of a watershed moment here where many units are low for both players, but it's SingSing that blinks first. Having said that, though, he's still somehow at 80 population.
Weird.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, the damage was very evenly distributed.
priests are doing
on
some
both
work, I
sides. We just
think.
have a lot of very low HP units. Now, SingSing can heal up pretty quickly here due to these priests. Not the case so much here for Viper, so he's going to move out on the map. Going big picture for a second here. You know, both players have double expos, but there's only one more gold mine here on the map. Do you think there's a possibility we're going to see anybody fight over that expansion in the middle?
I think it is an important tiebreaker. It makes the map better. I think
Not
it is
yet, though.
definitely happening when someone has... Oh! Wow, that was really scary for the TC there. Yeah, the gold mine is a big...
Still
Wait,
scary
the TC
for
is
him.
not moving. There could be Stormbolts around. I can't
It's still
answer your
scary.
question right now
Stormbolt.
because it
Oh,
looks
you
like
left
it
that
might be a
Stormbolt so
Tauren
long.
Chieftain kill.
Still gets it though.
Nice, he gets that kill,
That is
takes it
freaking
out.
massive because you can
SingSing's
get level
gonna
2
press
Thunderclap
further.
now
We're
and
seeing,
easily deal with the
units
army, or at
spread
least
out
have a
in
much better
various
position.
directions right now, as it's a
Use the
flight
mana
to
on the
safety, but the
Stormbolt
difference in this position
for the
is that
Coda. I probably
the
wouldn't have done that. I would have
expansion
just
for
saved my mana
Viper
for the
is a
Thunderclap.
pretty naked, empty place. They don't have a whole lot of defense other than maybe one burrow that could be taken advantage of.
True.
Wow.
Nice dispels there by SingSing.
This is way better for SingSing now. He can A-move this a lot easier.
He couldn't heal up his army fast enough and lost track of where his Tauren chieftain is.
Wow, this...
Stormbolt on the Farseer! A surround attempt! He's targeting it! There's a town
this
portal.
turnaround quickly.
He lost so much, Tasteless.
I don't think we need that gold mine in the middle.
It seems like that excellent escape earlier from the SingSing. He was able to heal up and basically take another fight versus a wounded Viper. And I don't know if this base can be saved right now.
Looks really, really tough, especially the desire to save it, while so many of his units are still so low, is most likely going to make a bad situation even worse. Ideally, he sacrifices the expansion, heals up to full, waits for Tauren Chieftain, and then goes back in with a
He's
tiny
still got
Great
a few
Hall after
units
winning
with
a
a
fight.
Archmage
But
as
instead,
well, level 5.
He comes in here with a fledgling wounded army, didn't lick his wounds yet, and just take this really mediocre fight without Tauren Chieftain, who even now is in the altar, 70% done. The moment Mountain King has mana, he can try to target the Farseer again. It's a tough situation for Viper. He was in a great position, but SingSing did a very good job holding on, resilience. He's got that TommyKay mindset where he tries to never give up. He got his big army. He waited for an opportunity, saw it, and gratefully accepted it.
Yeah, excellent control so far here from SingSing. I got to say, I'm blown away. I thought he was in pretty hot water. I think a lot of this game, if SingSing wins, really comes back to the bad exchange that the Viper tried to force over that expansion. He's got some pretty leveled up Shadow Wolves here, but SingSing's going to dive in
right
further.
Clicks, and there it is.
At this point in time, the Farseer is so low, it's 4 HP, it gets picked off. And I mean, now we have, it's almost like a WWE. We've like tag teamed the Tauren Chieftain, and now he's going to come in and try to do some damage.
TC with the aura here, bringing a lot. The absence of the
It's
TC
stealing the
was
wolves
keenly
with
felt.
breakers.
Oh yeah,
A too high play to make.
He did not. He's level 5.
It's
He's
more
doing
of an
great.
issue that
He's
the
never been
breakers might not
better.
even have enough mana to get the
Viper's
wolves,
down to 52
and they keep going
SingSing
invisible all the
is gonna
time.
make a play for the
So it's hard to
TC,
keep on them.
doing body blocks with his Mountain King on the Tauren Chieftain. The blocks are really good. He's gonna try and finish it right here. He has enough mana for a bolt. It flies. TC dies.
Beautifully done. Right now, the Viper's hero-less. That's going to be game. GG.
Right.
Tied
Both
up
players
1-1.
have learned. Viper's going to have to learn to use that
Very,
economy.
very well done there by
Because he was
SingSing
sitting on like
holding
2k gold for a while
you know,
there.
That moment happened. I forgot what your question was, because the TC was left there in the middle of nowhere.
No, don't worry. I've already forgotten it too, actually. let me make sure I join this game on time.
It's the thing, when you're casting like that, yeah, it's quite hard to
Am I in?
be aware of everything that's happening at the same time and react to it all,
insane. So,
and remember what people are saying.
Okay. So what exactly... look, I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I don't understand Warcraft 3 that well, but it seems like there was a fight over at that second base that I don't know if it was necessary or not, but it feels like because the game slowed down, the Viper tried to force something. SingSing...
How big is Unholy Aura for human?
Back out there.
It's pretty huge because human don't have
just due to the nature of the
mobility.
way the different races in Warcraft operate. Human was able to heal up and then kind of reset and take a fight at the Orcs expansion.
Yeah, you called it exactly. That's
I don't think Tasteless surrendered his games
automatically. That's the easier part of human. They have their priests healing them. That's maybe the hardest part about Orc, is that they need to fall back and regenerate, and everything needs clicks. You need to buy the heal salves, you need to apply them, you need to wait because they're non-combat consumables. You need to wait for them to take effect and then take the fight. There's a lot of individual bandaging, putting on tourniquets, splints, putting on salves and having your vitamins, and then you're ready again. And for human, that's automatic. But the hard part for human is surviving that early onslaught of feral spirit harass. So they both had their hard moments. SingSing definitely fell behind early game. I would say that Viper had maybe an 80 to 90% lead. Let's say if there was an algorithm that expressed the chances for the Viper to win after that game, if all other things are equal and skill is equal, I would say he was at a 80 to 90, maybe even 80 to 90% upper hand. And he threw it because he lost 3 units near the expansion that were not in control group, and then his TC was left behind, and he didn't heal fast enough.
My client is bugged, so give me a second. I gotta figure this out.
Yeah, sure.
I think SingSing's client might be bugged too. Hold on a sec.
Yeah,
Sounded like a lawyer there for a moment, saying his client is bugged out.
I really thought we were looking down the barrel of a 2-0 here, but yeah, Viper lost his units. We got a couple of clients bugged, like you said. Yours, Tasteless. I think SingSing has the same. I think you click the gear and then on the bottom left press restart.
Yeah, I do. It's log out, restart, and quit are all grayed out.
Okay. Yeah. So what W3 Champions does is it launches a shadow version of Warcraft 3 that you don't see, and your button bottom right stays grayed out if it failed to launch it correctly. So you need to do a full-blown restart of W3 Champions to give it another chance to do it.
Okay.
Okay. So if I do close window and I try to reopen it, it just pops right back up.
Yeah, it's not enough. You need to end task or do it on the bottom right in the tool tray.
Okay. It's never enough.
Got it.
So the next map pick is going to be for the Viper. It has occurred to me that many of you guys probably don't know what maps are even good or bad for you.
Does momentum actually exist?
I know.
Yeah, I mean that's
of course it does. Don't know what kind of question that means.
No, I was thinking about this actually. Like as a new player trying.
If Sing loses this next game, he said he'll go Pally Rifles for the 4th game. I mean, to be fair, he did a lot better in that one. Once he got enough rifles and priests, he was in a much better position. Although there were still some jaunty moments. I think if Viper didn't lose his Tauren Chieftain, Viper still had the advantage, but losing that Tauren Chieftain was devastating.
Before, even though I've been playing for days and days, I think it's fixed now. By the way, let me double check if everything's okay.
All right.
I think I just need the game name.
RedPanda.
Oh, okay.
150, 200 games in. I think 150 games in. I watched his stream this morning. Undead makes a Frostworm, and he says, "What's that? What's that dragon?" That's the level of experience you guys are working with. Like 2 weeks is nothing for a game like Warcraft 3.
Oh yeah. No, it's. I'm wondering if because I think what'll happen down the road is I'll probably stream myself playing some Warcraft 3 from time to time because I enjoy it now and I kind of know what I'm doing, but it's definitely a situation where like. As much as I think I can learn in RTS, and as much as I like games and have a background as someone who used to go to tournaments when I was younger, it's a lot of information. It's almost like it's like a game that you have to like memorize the periodic table of elements before you can even kind of process what's going on.
Oh, apparently
I'll get out of the game.
No. Did you leave?
Oh, no, I'm still in there.
Apparently you hosted the lobby, so that works.
Because the client crashed, I rushed to get in, but
you actually created
just
it.
Leave?
No, it's fine. You're now the host.
Okay, but I don't know how to start the game or anything.
Would I like more cheeses in this series? Sure, they're always fun to watch. That's one of the things I used to like watching about StarCraft 2, the esports back in the early days of StarCraft 2. It's like the Protoss Cannon Rush and stuff like that, and even the SCV Rush. That was obnoxious, but it was fun to watch.
Doing technical. Okay, here's what
I'm gonna log out.
No, I mean,
okay,
it's okay. Okay, I'll make it. I thought you can take over hosting.
No. I would prefer if you guys do it. I don't know what I'm doing in the client.
Okay,
give me 1 second.
No one does.
Same game name. Yeah, the terrible thing is while we're trying to like get the lobby started, we forget everything the other said during that moment.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we have the players in.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm just logging back in. Okay, I'm gonna join your game now.
Nice. Oh,
got it. Okay.
It says you don't have ping.
Oh, that's weird.
Do you mind restarting one more time?
Yeah, no problem at all. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, so all the servers on W3 Champions client, to those in the audience listening, this is the kind of the best place to play if you're semi-serious about playing. You don't have to be good. You can be really bad, but it's a great way to play the game on W3 Champions because there are many more servers. These servers are created by fans of the game that are running this community-oriented platform. So it's a non-profit organization. They take donations to support the servers, which their costs vary. Some months it's like $500 per month. Others it's like $3,000. Donations kind of float that.
Jesus.
They have like 25 servers for everyone to play with. So people that historically were not able to really play Warcraft 3 very well, like if you're from New Zealand or Brazil, you got used to playing with 250 ping on Blizzard service. Now you can play with 140 ping. So that's really nice. And the system is good at finding a server between the two players, which is why we can have matches like Tasteless against RedPanda, where both have 140 ping. In the past, if you were Europe against Korea, you would both play with 350 ping or 280 or 220 ping. So it's really nice.
Yeah, they do a good job of keeping the ping where it needs to be. So a reminder, I need $1,000 per month to keep the server twitch.tv/witty running. Does SingSing have a coach? You know, I don't actually know that. Because the Noff said he was doing Viper coaching.
Looks like
and it's going to be good.
But I don't know who's been
All right,
coaching
let's do it.
SingSing.
Viper has been well informed.
His coach is
about
black,
what maps are good for him.
former
This is
Dota
the
guy.
map. I don't know if you've noticed this. You may not even know the maps by name. Most players don't in the Invitational.
I certainly do not.
Caught. Yeah, I mean it's tough. Like you're getting like this visual impression of maps when you see them, and then as you get to the camp, it's usually the first time you're like, oh, this is the map with the thing where it's a really hard camp. Yeah, this is that map. This map has the hardest creep camp. It's the one with the Overseer, 2 Poisoners, a Warden that purges, a little Null, level 5 Null with the Aura. This is the hardest fast expansion map in the ladder pool, and it's Viper's choice. Makes sense, because SingSing has kind of been fast expanding every game.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Like, you know, make the burst.
Do you guys see different
from what we've seen
colours
from
with your
SingSing
eyes?
So far, when everything's on the line, he does want to fast.
I know this is kind of off the cuff, but I have different saturations between my eyes. And I don't always notice it until I start going like... For example, if I close my left eye, Grubby looks a lot paler. If I close my right eye, he has more colour in his face. He's got more of a hue, more of a saturation. He's more glowing. So you don't have that? Yeah, I do. I think when both of them are open, obviously it kind of compensates and he looks more like pale with a slight glow. But there's a distinct difference. Like, it's quite a different colour. It's not like he's just white and then he's like one more shade of white. If I like close my other eye, he goes up like quite a few shades. It could be the sunlight. I did wonder if it was that. But honestly, if I did this, I'd still think it still happens. So you think it's the sun? I don't know. I think I still have that.
Strengths,
I know my glasses
and the
aren't dirty. I
weaknesses. Is there
clean them.
something for you
before I
as a
started.
pro when you look at this where you go, oh, they're really messing
Time
this
for your
up,
eyes
or,
to
you know,
recap.
if they
Okay,
just do
fair
this
enough.
one thing.
If that's the reason, then that's probably
it would
better
be
than
so
it
much
actually
better.
being the
I
case.
think
But I'm
SingSing
pretty
has
sure
the best meta awareness in.
it's slowly
like, he has
blinding my
studied a
right
lot
eye.
of
I mean, it
top
probably
3
has
guys,
done, right?
So he knows what the top humans are doing.
I've got
and
the
then when
light
he
coming
sees what
directly
they're
on this
doing,
side.
He gets
The
it.
face.
Yeah, so he has very high game IQ.
I'm not
I
colorblind
think.
in one eye, no.
So I would say that's one of his strengths. His micro is good, his macro, but mostly
Not
I would
that I know
say
of.
if I had to pick one thing, it's his strategy awareness.
5
When it
militia
comes
is a bit
to
overkill
the
for
Viper,
this.
The Viper, just like in other RTS games like AoE2, AoE4, he likes early aggression. Small
you don't
armies,
need 5 militia for this.
skirmishes,
It's too easy.
skill checking with little micro.
4 would be
He's
enough.
got good APM. He's got good unit control early game. We saw his 80 pop control was actually really good until the TC blunder.
He's
But
not messing
overall, I would
around. He's
say
just
early
moving to
game
creeps.
is
That's
his
good.
strength. So he
You
wants
could
to
just
deal a
keep
lot of
doing it.
damage and disrupt SingSing's meta knowledge.
Viper's keeping an eye, though, with the wolf.
It's an
Arcane
interesting
Tower's
position here.
already
He's
up.
kind of staying
Very
in
safe.
between him. He's got a wolf on one side. He's got the Farseer on the other. The first headhunter's going to come down here.
He's very good,
we do
Sing
see
Sing,
the
at this,
militia being pulled
prioritising the
over here to fight
creeping.
the turtle creeps.
That's smart.
But yeah, I mean, already a lot of action everywhere here on the map.
Good pullback.
Good micro by SingSing, saving his militia on the turtle creep camp. There's
Just
two
gotta keep
peasants
an eye
you
on
need
it.
to save
W,
when they get
get
target
it back.
fired. The first one was saved. The second one looks like it might die
Only
if
if
he
it
doesn't
keeps
respond in the
attacking.
next few seconds.
Yeah, there you
one
go.
militia lost. but that's a level 2 in absence of the Archmage global XP application. Meanwhile, he's using Archmage, Elemental, and Footman to drive the Farseer and Headhunters away. And Tasteless, it looks like this might be a fast tech build by SingSing. I think he recognizes this map is too difficult to expand on, so he wants to change up the flow a little bit and not go for a fast expand. And sure enough, Town Hall has been upgraded.
Yeah, this is very cool. We're going to see SingSing kind of one base it. Makes sense. There's just too much pressure over here. The expansion's too far away. As you said earlier, Grubby, it's also very...
challenging.
You know, this is the hard. The creeps are the toughest, I guess I should say.
Sending the Footman over to heal, by the way.
We've got
so
kind of an
doing well on that.
split position. Going to be pretty intense on both sides to try to micro this. The Headhunters have been driven away. SingSing's going to try to merge his army back together. And for now, it looks like the Farseer push is going to continue on.
He's going to keep trying to shave off health of the Footman, but there's one thing that SingSing knows. This map has a healing fountain. Oh, nice snipe there on that Footman. But the healing fountain is being used well by SingSing. These creeps sleep at night. Warcraft 3 has a circadian rhythm, unlike me. And the creeps sleep at they sleep at night, and that means that the fountain can be used without clearing the camp. 2 Footmen are healing to full there, and SingSing is pulling them back. So if he cycles low units, then he can actually save them.
Yeah, he's going to try to orbit outside of this base right now. He actually checks. Oh my God, he left the Gauntlets of Strength. That's just been taken.
Nice pick up.
Highway robbery over here. And he's actually going to come over here and just check the creeps. I don't know if he wants to. I have a question, actually. So, like, in this situation, would it ever make sense to kill their creeps at the expansion? Or is that, like, unwise? You want to basically keep that as sort of an occupying area where they have to work to get that?
Yeah, that's a really smart question. And the answer is it depends. Because I think you perfectly highlighted the dilemma. You're getting a valuable camp the opponent might be counting on later, but you're making it easier for them to expand, right?
Yeah.
So
Ooh, that's sick. That block is so good by the Viper.
Really sick blocks. Really good control. That's some top-level control, actually.
See, that's the beauty of Warcraft 3, is you got body blocks like that all the bloody time.
SingSing is in
So
mode
Tasteless
run,
likes that.
then you could chase someone, pretend to lose track of them, and farm the Rock Golem level 6.
This is why it was really important that
Viper's
if Blizzard did revamp this game
in anticipation
when people
of
thought they were
thinking
going to do
that
it.
SingSing is doing a rat attack on his main. It looks like it.
They
It
don't
looks like he's
change the
sniffing this out.
pathing,
He finds
even
the
though you might
Archmage, he
want
has
that,
8
or you may
Headhunters.
think you want that.
Reinforced defenses has already been started. It's 20% of the way done, so it will take about another 40 seconds.
He's going to run the... I don't know... this is a very interesting move here from SingSing. He's going to just run in and basically hold position in the worker line.
Yeah.
He's eating a lot of damage. His shields are up.
It's
but
interesting.
I don't know, Grubby, but you tell me, is this worth it? Is this a good move or what?
What's
Not
your
really
instinct?
worth it.
My instinct tells me no.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you could just micro the peons away. Although, you know, some peons have been killed here. The issue is that there's no way to rescue these footmen. And, you know...
He does not like those
in a game
footmen.
of StarCraft, like, okay, like a zealot dies.
It
or
would suck
Dragoon
for
gets
you if
blown
you was
up.
in
It's
that
like, all right,
army.
well, that's not good. You never want to lose anything.
That's
But
some
you can
World
make it
War
again,
One
right?
business
It's a
right
game
there.
with a lot of units. But Warcraft 3, it's like, compared to StarCraft, like each unit is worth 4 StarCraft units.
Yeah.
So to give up those, I think it was 5 footmen, 4 or 5.
Yep, 5.
I just feel like now SingSing's, it was 5. Okay, so now I just look at this and I'm like, well, you just don't have a lot to work with, right? I mean, it's going to be hard to creep here.
Yep. And 5 footmen, that's 200 XP. To put it in perspective, if Viper had one level 1 hero without XP, 5 footmen would be enough to level him to 2.
I don't know any of that stuff.
That's the value that has been granted there. 5 footmen is also, let's see, 5 is about 675 gold. So he threw away 675 gold, creeping power, he gave away experience, and he now has lost footmen that had defense upgrade that if Viper were to attack move in fights, the Headhunter shots would automatically go to defense upgrade footman. Very useful. And now he doesn't have that. So now Headhunters will be attacking instead whatever is nearest, if you attack move. And the if you attack move argument is not very important at high level because people will target what you're supposed to target with their extreme game knowledge. But at the intermediate and lower level, it's always very relevant because the more you don't need to do manually in fights, the more that works well automatically, the easier the fight is for you because Warcraft 3 fights are very complex.
So down here, we've got the Viper just, you know, freely farming, clearing out, you know, all the creeps down here. We did have SingSing come and clear out that expansion area. But I mean, this is looking pretty bad, I think, for SingSing.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about those footmen that were lost. He's going to go for some more ambitious creep camps. He does, you know, he is able to generate water elementals. So you have something spongy that is, you know, obviously temporary. So you can kind of recycle that over and over. But he's not creeping with a lot. The Viper, I should say, is going to move up. And he's going to start to take out the other creeps. This time it's going to be at the merchant, goblin merchant thing here. And I'm worried for SingSing because if he gets caught here, he has right now barely.
He doesn't
an
have
army,
enough.
Where you know what the Viper has is massive.
Yeah, Viper's expanding behind this, 70% done. He's got nearly 50 population. SingSing at 42. And he's just going to TP.
Yeah.
He sees Ensnare coming. He sees writ upon his destiny. Several Ensnares, several unit kills. He was a centimeter away. I mean, I guess like half an inch from his main. And he town portals just to save units. Now he's stuck like a rat in his base, unable to go out because there's a fox hunting. And he instantly rebuys town portal. Viper
chew his
like,
way
hey,
out.
Why are you so willing to spend a TP even though you were so close to home? Do you have an expansion? Question mark. Checks. Answer is no.
Rattage.
So SingSing's going to move out again. I like the way that the Viper's been handling the creeps here. He went for the higher value ones first. This is a fairly small creep camp, at least for the phase of the game that we're in right now, nearing about 10 minutes. There's not any real locations that SingSing can now creep to, if I'm understanding the map correctly.
They're going to go both to the middle?
There's a red dot creep camp in the middle, which nobody's contested. But I mean, I don't feel like that's a safe move, right? So SingSing's going to try to move south. He's going to go to the mirrored creep camp to the one we saw earlier. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he's going to keep pushing even further here, and he's going to check for an expansion. Now, he's going to see it, but at the same time, the Viper is going to be moving in at the same time, so I don't know that he can stay here.
Yeah, like he wants to do what? Like a raider kill, maybe kill some peons and then TP out. Try to kind of slow down the economic hegemony that Viper is building up right now. Yeah. But he doesn't really have a fighting
Pretty
army.
open
it's
ground.
Too far away for militia to come into the fight.
Good for
he doesn't have incredible items, so this is Viper's fight to win. Or how do you say it? To lose? Like he's in the lead for this fight. There's a Scroll of the Beast.
Yeah.
SingSing does have Dispel, but he just gets scared from the Scroll of the Beast. He's losing some units.
Without an
he
expansion.
town portals out. And like you said, to what end? Because you correctly pointed out,
SingSing
doesn't have any creeps to creep around his base. So a town portal immediately puts him in a position of low natural resources in terms of
50
creeps.
food, he's got to buy another one.
He forces the town portal next to one of the 3 best camps on the map, the Red Drake, and will gratefully take it immediately after.
Okay, he's going to come in now, taking out the super high value.
I can see an expansion at the top left started.
Camp. And for the time
but
being,
a lot of experience is going
quietly. SingSing's going to try to expand and get a base up.
To the Viper
was
now.
Scouted by a peon here from the Viper, so he sees that. We got to see after this fight is finished over here at the creeps. Is he going to move out? SingSing goes over and gets one healing scroll. From what I gather in Warcraft 3, you know, the healing scrolls at the merchant camps are extremely, it's like an important resource, not just for you to have, but you want to make sure that they don't have those healing scrolls. So very important for SingSing to get that. He's now going to go over to the other side of the map and get that high value.
True.
Yeah, these drakes are often split unless one player is able to completely manipulate the map in such a way that they can get one Dread Drake, TP out, and then get the other because of their distance from one another. So SingSing will get some value. Items he would be looking for here is like Devotion Aura, maybe True Shot Aura, or Gauntlets plus 6 strength, the Belt of Giant Strength. He's going to get the worst item of all. Item luck is a real thing. Boots of Quel'Thalas doesn't really do anything for him, and it brings me to a question.
If he gets
Actually, I
bashed
don't
at
think I have
something.
time to ask it, Tasteless. It will have to wait for later because Viper comes in with the giant backstab.
But
yeah, the Viper's going to come in. This is
SingSing does have access to the
strong creeps back here that are being healed
healing
at the
fountain,
camp.
but not all of its crap. So
the Turin chieftain comes
yeah, this is pretty bad.
Out a couple of those
a TP again.
SingSing is going to have to
I
evacuate.
can't see.
It's a constant
this has
cycle
gone so
of the
rough
human
for him.
army shrinking over and over again.
The only thing left is really the middle.
The remainder of
and
these
remember,
this fountain.
Viper can just go north to his expansion.
And Grubby, right next door is this
Did you go to the middle?
Expansion for the Viper.
Get that experience?
For SingSing here. So the Viper can
or just sit around at your expansion.
Take this out.
Yeah, and you pointed it out. He did a peon scout on it. That's such an Age of Empires 2 thing, like to send a worker and scout, very StarCraft 1 as well. Usually, a true Warcraft 3 player would use wolves to scout it. But he sent one of those peons. The important thing is that he's doing it. He found it, and now he knows how to play around with that. The Viper's going to do a pull leash here on this Ogre
Good
kind
enough.
of bring it to a better location where if he gets caught, he doesn't really get caught in as bad of a position. Fantastic upgrades, by the way, on the Viper. He's 2-2 on the Headhunters.
Wow.
Ooh, okay, he takes out that center creep, looking really good right now. I mean,
Grubby's
we're
happy.
almost out of creeps on the map. This is the last camp or the second last camp that's remaining here? Is that correct?
Looks like we've got 5 more camps. This was the remaining high-value camp. We've got 2 orange camps and 3 greens, all of them on the half of the map of the Viper. These are usually like I call them like the pizza crust camps, the one that your girlfriend or boyfriend left for you because they're watching their carbs, and then you eat them like the morning after. These green camps, you would finish them off just because you've nothing else to do, right? Like usually high-level heroes, big armies take bigger camps.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be wiped out right now. Now, this is going to be a moment where, he could at least, at the minimum, SingSing could get some worker kills. 4 of the peons retreat inside the burrow, but it only holds 4.
What are the
so
upgrades on the rifles?
On the 1 peon down here.
Probably can't be as
I don't
good
think the
because he's
Viper's
had to
too
spend so
worried.
much money
I
on
think
town
he's gonna
portals.
patiently scoop up these items, level up, and then try to
that
close
army.
in. Remember, even though SingSing
76
has a town
versus
portal
58.
scroll, I mean, it's so expensive. Every time you use it, it's almost
Another
like a
town
resource
portal.
of its own.
But I
It's gonna
guess
force
this
him
one
to go
makes
back.
sense,
He'll
to be
have
fair.
Rebuy that town portal scroll, and it's just another little victory here for him.
True. As dire as it looks, though, for SingSing, it's difficult to find a better thing that he could have done. Killing a burrow
pretty
and
good.
4 workers. The burrow prevents the 70 to 80.
And he's got more gold
population
mine at the
growth,
top left
so
now.
It keeps 10 population of army off the board for another minute at least, probably 2 minutes when we talk about it being in SingSing's base. And he has his own expo, killed the grunt, TP towards it. And then now he's going to play from a defensive position where he is.
You notice now
the time
SingSing's
being,
got a
mining more
decent
than the
chunk
Viper.
of units
However,
now. Once you
there's a
get
little
more of that
problem
mass as
of an
human, it's a bit
endurance
easier
aura,
to A-move.
Unholy Aura boosted army with the Torrent Chieftain level 4, Farseer level 4, and a heal scroll and double invulnerability potion. If you can just
Stormbolt.
deal with that, it's going to be
Boom.
great.
Focus. Torrent
Okay,
Chieftain
the
already
Viper's gonna
super
close
low.
in now.
Invul
We've got some
potion
riflemen
used.
here, all getting a little bit weaker here. Low
Chain
on
Lightning
HP.
got
The
some
Torrent
damage
Chieftain
done
moves
there
into the
though on
front.
that human army.
We're going to see a retreat back here. When I watch
Careful,
these
don't
Warcraft
take
3
too
units,
much
it's almost
damage.
like watching ants move in an ant farm. They're going to try to get back into this kind of area.
I
where
don't
they
know
have
if
more
pulling back
cover, where
that
the
much
riflemen can do a
was...
little bit better. The Mountain King is getting very low, and
He
he's
does a
it's
good
been
job getting the
log
Mountain King
jam.
back.
He does manage to squeeze through. Meanwhile, the Torrent Chieftain so low on HP, but he pulls that back. Nicely done.
Really good
The
Torrent
arc
Chieftain
is nice
control,
for
keeping
Viper.
it at the back manually over and over and over, making sure it's not going to get Stormbolt focus fired. He's even kind
Oh,
of
the
playing
wolves
with
on the
its
Mountain
position,
King.
coming forward, baiting a Stormbolt almost, and then pulling it back again as if to make a Stormbolt be cast in vain. Now he has to be careful. TC might die. I think TC's dead. Level 2 Stormbolt. It's getting focus fired. It
Mountain
dies.
King.
SingSing kills the Torrent Chieftain.
That was huge.
That was insane. SingSing just stayed back enough. Maybe a little bit too greedy there by the Viper.
Yep.
He pushed in, and I mean, ultimately was punished by that.
Has SingSing bought enough
now,
time?
I mean, how bad is this exactly for Orc? Because I felt like for a lot of this game, Viper looked pretty good, but dropping a hero, obviously, that's never good.
That was very bad, but SingSing has 0 peasants on lumber and only 5 on gold.
He's still
Mountain
sticking
King
in
is
there.
very low, actually getting kind of blocked.
Health
If
potion
Viper
on Mountain
stepped
King.
up and just auto-attack Mountain King, it could actually die. SingSing has to buy heal pots, but he bought it on the wrong hero, so now he has to do the really tedious action of giving heal pot to the Mountain King mid-fight. He drops it on the ground. Mountain King guzzles both heal pot and mana pot. He could kill the Farseer! He could kill the Farseer! Farseer! He
No,
gets
he
away!
doesn't.
Sing
Okay.
didn't have the killer instinct to go for it with the level 2 Stormbolt.
Oh, here
We'll
we
do it
go.
again. No Stormbolt block!
Oh my god.
No Stormbolt block!
Okay, so it's like at 40 HP. He's going to try to chase it down. The 20 HP Farseer now backs away. He's going to try to stay out here. He wants to maybe cast another round of wolves here. At this moment, SingSing has to retreat. He pulls back, but an overextension
The healing
here
fountain's gonna be
from
really good for
could
Viper
be
then.
Absolutely tragic. The Viper goes back to lick his wounds now. SingSing lives on to fight another day.
Oh my god.
Wild interaction.
Funny thing
there.
is I think the Viper's... Oh no, he's changed.
So
It looked like he was
close.
heading back
SingSing's
to
such
base
a
to buy some
scrappy
healing
player.
cells.
So good
But
on
you can
the
just heal at
defense.
the...
Viper going for the pizza crust here. getting a small little camp, Tome of Intelligence +2.
Definitely needs to
does
heal.
Viper know he can just go to the fountain and heal all his heroes? Or will the muscle memory of the past and all the other maps that don't have a healing fountain command him to go back and use heal
too late
solve
now.
there instead? It looks like he will be going back. Not a terrible decision.
Say goodbye to that raider.
Clarity potion. Uh-oh. Whoa, SingSing is attacking now? Tasteless? With this?
I don't know, man. This
SingSing
is
don't give a
wild.
fuck.
Well, look, I mean, okay. He has a town portal, right? Yeah, he has.
He wants to kill
a
more
town portal in the
peons.
pocket. I guess you can kill off these peons, but you know, within this number of units, you can't kill this burrow that quickly. So I almost feel like, well, hold on a second. This is a very low Farseer. There could be a fumble here from the Viper if he doesn't control this correctly. But I think he has to town portal out. Maybe not actually. I didn't appreciate actually how fast the
Which
human army
one?
can move.
The Farseer, the real one?
He knew which one is real! He kills the Farseer! How did he know which one is real? Dota 2 skills!
How did he?
He knew.
That was insane. I almost had to like do a double take. I'm like, wait, what? What happened there? So he gets the kill on that. Insane snipe. And now, you know, I mean, I gotta say, little victories here from SingSing looking good. I do think overall the Viper's army is still a little bit stronger.
Viper does a
SingSing's making it
really
work.
good job of getting himself in
Tasteless.
a powerful
My
position, but
professional
yeah, he
opinion
does
is still
tend
that Viper
to,
is in a large lead.
unfortunately
But if he
for
were to
him,
connect
throw
red dots
the game a little
of a
bit, because
comeback,
he should really
this is
win this one.
exactly how it would look like for SingSing.
Yeah, he's made a whole bunch of really smart little victories, right? I mean, if he's going to win this, it's going to be, you know, not with one fatal blow, but with a bunch of paper cuts.
Ooh, that
He's coming in
thunderclap.
again, big stop there on the Headhunters, and definitely enough HP on the Mountain King to back up.
The next clap is going to be devastating. That's Thunderclap level 3. Viper cannot stay in this fight. He's feeding units away right now, losing a lot of
Nice
grunts.
pullback on the
He cannot
rifleman.
be in this fight. Farseer is not being remade yet, in fact. He's not making it from the altar. He's not making it from the tavern. He just doesn't have a Farseer anymore. And it was level 5.9. It's a 6 even. It's very... Wait, he has it. He just rehired it from the tavern. That cost him about 780 gold or so. Very expensive.
Man, so expensive. Well, SingSing's going to come in again. I don't... Well, I mean, I guess there's just some wounded Headhunters. Let's see what he can actually kill. But as far as I can tell, there's no obvious weak target. The Kodo's going to come into the front, and it's
Still
going
a
to be
bit of an army here. Depends how those thunderclaps
Will
go.
he take it out?
Mount
He
King
does.
prioritizing really
is
good
huge.
position there. Look at the
Exacerbated
value
damage
of that
because
thunderclap.
the
That was worth
the Berserker
prioritizing.
active. The next clap will kill about 5 units, but good target fire by Viper, killing all the priests in the back.
Did it a bit
I
too,
actually feel like SingSing
far
went
to the
into this
right.
fight favored. But the second clap wasn't that good.
Nah.
Viper's micro is very good.
He's got another
killing
clap
all the
coming
backline
though in
units.
about...
Oh,
no,
no,
never mind.
Farseer died
Farseer
again.
kill, worth it.
Oh my God.
Worth it, definitely worth it.
Yeah, that's going to be taken out now.
That Turin
And at
chieftain
this
could
point in
get to
time,
level
I mean,
6.
Like Turin
Not
Chieftain's looking
likely,
very low.
but
He's going to have to run,
could.
but there's, you know, not a lot of places to hide over there.
There's a few injured
Good
units to
target
pick
fire
off.
by the Headhunters, killing
5.8,
more Berserkers.
5.9.
TC is 1 kill away from getting reincarnate.
He's running away.
The ultimate for TC
He's
is
abandoning his
reincarnation.
army.
If you die, you give no XP to enemy. You revive after 5 seconds with full life and full mana. And he's 1 kill away from unlocking that ult. Meanwhile, SingSing, he still has a very poor lumber economy, but he has built up again. He's
Get
making
that
breakers
shredder.
priest. I think SingSing is in the
Slap
lead.
some
This is
peons
crazy.
from gold onto lumber and get that
Yeah,
shredder.
this is unreal right now. The
Turin
Turin Chieftain's going to come in here.
Chieftain,
Again, he's going to kill maybe. Oh my God, he takes it and it's not.
He didn't use
That's
invulnerability
insane.
potion. He didn't use shockwave,
Yeah.
which would have given him level up.
Oh
he
my
just came in
God.
and died to Stormbolt. SingSing instantly with the killer instinct throws a bolt.
He needs more
insane.
practice with that then.
Well, I mean, there is a world where I think SingSing can make this work, but at the same time, he's got his army so thinned out. I mean, there's just a lot of Headhunters up here. The Kodo Beast has come up.
But there's no,
But, you know,
there's no
Headhunters
heroes.
alone.
Viper has no
Yeah,
heroes.
there's no heroes.
He has no
And
active
Headhunters are
income.
extremely squishy units. Yeah. This is insane. I think that SingSing might be able to do this. GG, that's it. Unreal. Unreal.
These are some pretty
comeback.
popping games, to be honest, between these
Very
two. My
similar
gosh.
fashion to game 2. Viper takes a massive commanding lead. We're talking about 95% win probability. Maybe I'm overrating it because, you know, people make mistakes. But he was again in like an 85-95% win probability situation and just didn't go to the fountain, didn't heal up, Was walking around doing some random unimportant pizza crust camps. Unbelievable. But let's not just talk about how Viper lost the game. Let's talk about SingSing's grit. His never give up attitude. I mean, he was down to 0 lumber peasants. He was 1 base mining, 5 peasants. Nothing else.
Classic
no
human
second
game.
gold mine mining. He used every single militia in his main. Viper had like 30, 40 population lead, higher levels. He had everything. And somehow SingSing won? I don't believe this is happening. You're going to have to pinch me, Tasteless.
That was insane. I mean, I thought the game was... Honestly, I thought for most of it was a pretty straightforward lead here. You know, from the Viper, I thought he was... You know, he had a couple of overextensions, but, you know, that's the reality of Warcraft 3 is you're going to lose if you miss micro. But, yeah, he had pretty good control of the game. SingSing barely had an expansion up. But he just took some of these late-game exchanges really nicely, and ultimately he came out with a win.
Yeah. Very, very nice job. This time he also had his rifle upgrades for the bonus range. He had really nice upgrades. His Stormbolt
Shredder
micro,
is
his
love.
Mountain King micro was very good. He
It's
pulled
greedy,
his Mountain
though.
King back into his own base, waited for the overextension, and eventually got it. Viper's TC control was really good until finally he did go into that choke, got Stormbolted. He had a second invulnerability potion. You know what I'm thinking, Tasteless? I think he thought that he can use Invul, but it has an exclusive cooldown. If you've used one invulnerability potion, you can't use another for, what is it, 45 seconds or so?
Do you
Oh,
know
that
the
makes
answer?
sense. Yeah. So you can't just chain them together and never die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tasteless said actually it's 30
that
seconds.
was a real plot
That'd be
twist
awesome.
when the Turin Chieftain, which was about to get level 6, as you were saying, that would allow it to be resurrected in the fight, which could, you know, in the end maybe snowball a fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just lost it, and it was like, at the moment where maybe the Viper was at the game-winning point, it backfired.
Definitely. Very impressive. You know, the way that they played, it could have easily been 3-0 for the Viper. But somehow SingSing is up 2-1. It is incredible and really speaks to his...
Yeah, that's the best game so far of the
experience
tournament.
and cold blood. He's got ice running in his veins, Tasteless. You know, he participated in the Dota 2 esports scene. I think he got top 6 at the international ones. I'm sure you haven't like watched a whole lot of international, but you're aware of it, right?
Of course, 100%. Yeah. No, I mean he's clearly a great player, but the tenacity, I guess, is something that comes when you're like a great MOBA player, a great Dota player. You know, it's all about kind of hanging on and trying to force that comeback, and that's absolutely what happened back there. I mean, I think strategically, we saw in some ways a better game from the Viper, but it was these little skirmishes that were so well handled there from SingSing. He knew into Town Portal. I mean, SingSing's gameplay wasn't perfect, but that's not even the point, right? He knew how to kind of navigate pretty treacherous
They
waters
got 2
and
weeks
then come out
practice.
with a win there at the very end.
SingSing has
I think
less
that's so
because he came into
impressive.
the
Like that-
tournament
that
later.
attack where he did, where he killed 4 peons and a burrow and then TP'd out, that kind of thing. And it's so hard to actually do what he did with y'all's like 2-week experience, because when I'm learning a new game, I try to learn the rules of the game, and it can feel quite rigid sometimes. I try to adhere to like the best habits, and when you're put in an unfamiliar situation, normally it's like, okay, what am I allowed to do? What am I supposed to do?
BRB
What does
whilst they're
someone
yapping.
normally do in this situation?
I've
But
got to
it
get some
looks
food
like,
soon,
at
but
least we don't know
I'll
what's
wait
going
until
on in
this
his
set
head.
is over.
Like he makes pretty good decisions in those unfamiliar moments.
So, in this next, the next map is Northern Isles. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Opening on this map, you know, we were talking about, you know, the previous map, it's hard to expand. How hard is it to expand on this map? Because in most of the games, it seems like SingSing at least wants to attempt to get a second base up.
Yeah. This map, the expansion is actually towards your opponent, but it is one of the longer rush distance maps. The expansion is of medium to high difficulty. Not as hard as the previous map, but harder than most. The creeps are level 2254, I think. So the total camp strength is 13, which makes it a just below average orange camp, but it makes it an above average expansion camp. With that, you can definitely expand here against Orc. And the other option would be to creep level 2 on the other side, the Ogre Mage level 5, that gives a fat consume, like greater heal, greater mana pot. Those are the 2 options. feeling is, I think, that SingSing will probably try to expand again. I think that's where my instinct goes to.
But we'll have to see if you know, the Farseer play here from the Viper is going to be effective in actually slowing him down. It does seem like we're not going to have any Blade Masters from the Viper here. We were kind of talking earlier about the fact that, like, this could be, you know, it was an either or. It seemed like he was 50-50, either Farseer or Blade Master. But yeah, he's really stuck with that. Been pretty effective at it so far.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, let me see. Okay, ready. So we're just gonna ready because SingSing doesn't see chat. So we'll start this game. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I just took a small look at the
sausages off,
statistics,
but
the ladder
I'll wait a little bit longer.
W3champions.com has a full analytics about how people have been playing. So we have for the Viper, he is at a 53% usage rate for Blade, 43% for Farseer. But against human, it's 95% Farseer. So the Blade is reserved for other matchups. So a very high likelihood that he's going to be going for Farseer once again.
Okay, tell us about this map, Grubby. Like, what do we expect seeing here? I mean, are there anything unique with creeping, or any kind of, I guess, the geography of the map? Does it affect how you know, the players have to approach this differently from the other maps we've already seen?
One thing about the map is that there's no mercenary camp.
Okay.
I think that's always important to point out. Mercenary camps can supercharge early expansions with bonus production that you otherwise would not have. It functions essentially as a proxy barracks.
Yeah, it does.
So it doesn't have one of those.
Interesting.
And the second part is, and I feel like this kind of this hard to accept truth that may make some people think that Warcraft 3 has some weird mechanics that feel rather arbitrary. So I take a great risk sharing this. Do you think I should not share it on that with that premise?
Share it.
Share it. Okay.
Spill the beans, Grubby.
I'm spilling them. Creeps on ice maps have a weird behavior with aggro behavior. So
I heard about this, but I wasn't sure if it's
who they attack works differently
true
on
or
ice
not.
Maps than on non-ice maps.
Why would that be, though? Why would it be programmed like that?
Doesn't sound very logical.
I don't think
But they often don't attack what you want.
Can anyone prove that?
I know, it's
That's
so weird.
so weird.
Can anyone actually prove that? Because there's no...
Is that a bug, or is that actually coded
How could
into
it
the game?
just the tile set make
coded
creeps
into the
behave
game.
differently?
I don't understand the decision-making process behind it. Because why? Just because it's ice map. I don't know why. So, for instance...
So what is the difference? So they attack the warmest unit now? Like, what is the...
Someone out there...
What is the difference in the targeting?
Test it.
On many maps, units will have an internal logic that says attack nearest unit first. And then there are some units that have higher natural aggro, like Water Elemental has higher aggro pool than others. Like it has taunt. But ice creeps sometimes ignore those rules. So you see how the Trapper is attacking Militia? Other creeps on other maps would be focusing Elemental the moment it gets in range. But this Tuskar Trapper doesn't care. So he's hitting Archmage right now, which makes no sense at all, because Archmage is the furthest.
It's true.
And it's not the Elemental. Normally Elemental has taunt. But anyway, I'm talking while the action's going on, but I just kind of wanted to point out this weird thing, even though I take a great risk of making people think ice maps
Level
are
2 is important. Brilliant, Sora.
No, I actually love learning stuff like that. That's so fascinating. We've got the Farseer
It
coming
sounds
here.
like BS, but I think there is some truth to
pulling
it.
that wolf away. This footman, I think, is going to be killed off. A little bit of XP. It's important when you watch the Farseer.
You need some chip damage on the Farseer.
It's going to be leveling up by the kills it's getting.
Unless the Farseer's got to heal himself,
SingSing's
which he doesn't. So yeah, keep chipping on the Farseer. Leave the
Farseer
Archmage on the
the
Farseer.
benefit of growing is to get those kills. We want
As long as he doesn't have to chase too far.
And I got to say, the splitting
That's what you need to do.
is really good. He goes right on that peasant.
Oh, nice move there by SingSing. He sends the peasant into the gold mine, which disjoints the previously given aggro command of the wolves onto the peasant.
Yep. Very nice. Some good moves here from the players.
Like Farseer harass is almost done. Not as many peasants left over here. I don't. Is it the 5 the number you normally have?
Yes.
Make the town hall.
Yes.
Okay, so
we see Farseer XP 130. He took no creeps, so everything came from SingSing.
Is he gonna get the Headhunter?
Yeah, and you know it's important to note for those of you that don't know,
maybe
know even less than
give
I
it
do
enough
about
time.
Warcraft 3, is that the peasant has to manually build the building. It's not like Orc where the building sort of makes, because the peon, like, is theoretically inside of it.
Right.
Or like
or
Undead, where the building kind of warps in like it's a Protoss building. So, yeah, I don't think there's going to be more. Well, maybe there will be more harass with that coming up here. But, you know, this is going to be, the point I'm trying to make is this is going to be a much later town hall coming in here.
Yeah.
Most of them have been quite late.
Definitely then game number 2, if I recall correctly. He's going to try to do that thing where he tries to burst the town hall down. I think he could have gone for it too. He didn't want to get the footman.
Yeah, I agree.
He could still do it. He could still do it.
Yeah, only 2 peasants.
Sorry to interrupt you.
It's
You're like
very
doing
slow.
play-by-play, and I'm like, yep.
Sorry, I'm just,
you're right.
sometimes I fall I fall too much back into like my coach role where I'm like, do it. I'm like backseating, but like I'm supposed to be casting the game.
So I mean, the town hall is still pretty low. Looks like he's going to send these injured spirit wolves over to the side here. He just doesn't want to have any free XP here for SingSing. So the footman's going to come up here. I think he might be able to get the kill on this one. I mean, the Viper's doing a really good job. You know, I have to say,
he pulled that back early.
You know, this series here, I was always wondering, you know, okay, well, whose skills are
Level
going to really
2 though.
shine through here?
And
And
the Fire Lord.
watch Age of Empires, there's a lot of kiting in the game, like in general with units, and you can see that expressed here with the Viper and how he's able to, you know, keep all these headhunters alive. Beautiful block over here. Does he get the kill? This footman somehow lives.
I think he will probably get it. Oh, there's going to be a self-kill because he didn't quite get the final auto attack off. Fire Lord hired once again. It's what gave Viper the first win, actually.
This is
going to
be
Rift.
One more Water Elemental.
Finished. It can do bonus damage on wolves and lava spawn.
If he gets
so
the lava spawn dealt with,
SingSing.
but it's so hard. There's so many headhunters.
He tried, but he failed. 3 peasants are coming. 1 picked up his weapons, and the other forgot them at home.
This is looking really bad here for SingSing. We've got 3, now 2 footmen. The Farseer's low, and it's not getting a lot of attention here from the Viper, and I think maybe SingSing can try to do a little bit more damage and take it out. It looks like
he
it's
could have used the Archmage to get that Farseer down.
We want to keep our eye on that Farseer to see if it can be targeted, but right now SingSing has kind of pulled away and is turtled up behind the gold mine and the Arcane Tower. The Viper decides to just seesaw his attention over to the other side of the map, and the Altar of Kings is kind of hanging out. It's like a loose piece of the defense. You know, the 2 towers are pretty nicely positioned, but not in such a way to protect this Altar of Kings.
True, but Altar shouldn't have been the top trophy here. Viper didn't know it, but he could actually just shove into the expansion, take his hands off the keyboard, and it would win. He's gonna maybe lose his Farseer here.
There comes the froze.
Losing it than to TP and take away the
He gets
pressure.
off to such a strong start, but
yeah, I agree.
In a way, if you just pulled your heroes back and just
gone in. There was
take
only
them off your
tower.
hotkey,
you
might be better off.
Just take it down with those headhunters. There I am backseating again. But yeah.
Well, this is the thing with RTS, right? Like, you have to play a lot of RTS games to just look and know if you can win a fight. I mean, that's been one of the big challenges for me when I was trying to learn Undead for this tournament. Is it's like I don't. You know, sometimes I'm like going into fights and people are like, "Are you insane?" Like, but that was definitely a moment where the Viper probably had a lethal move up his sleeve. But
the Arcane Tower can't really do shite to those headhunters, so you can put those headhunters way more aggressive.
You know, be Captain Careful here and try to maintain this.
I do blame him.
He's scared of the he's scared of the Arcane Tower. He's got like nothing on those headhunters.
I know it's professional, but come on, you've got 9 headhunters against 1 tower. Just go in and finish it.
Oh, man. Well, the Archmage, now he's going to be forced away from his expansion. Now, the Town Hall's low. I don't know if that's going to be the desirable target to get. Instead, the Viper's going to go for this tower in the back.
I mean, all he needs to do, get 1 more lava spawn and then just run in with his Firelight. He doesn't have to care about losing mana.
And therefore, juicy targets
once he's got that lava spawn built.
Kill off. And so he denies that tower. The Viper basically looking for value right now. I believe that Farseer is back out, so he's going to merge that in with the rest of his army over here in the south.
I think Viper might be overestimating the defensive strength of a tower. In Age of Empires 2, archers do no damage to towers whatsoever, almost. And that's not true here. It's not quite the lethality of StarCraft units against
human towers are paper towers,
who would just not even respect it at all, but it's really not that strong. Now, having said that, Viper's still in a great spot. He's making headhunters and raiders. His Farseer is back. But SingSing is getting a lot of time, and he's trying to remake it by making his
doesn't have to worry about the Arcane Tower hitting him.
He's going double racks. He's pumping footmen. Now, finally, Viper
Just keep
feels
attacking.
his confidence
Just
to
a
move in.
move.
That's a lot of Headhunters.
Just a move, and you can be fine here.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many Headhunters. I think there's no way to recover from this. The Archmage is pinned in the back. He's going to taunt Portal, but I think no matter how you cut this expansion's going to go down.
Yeah.
You know, the tower is once again reset. The Arcane Tower is being targeted down here. The next kill is going to be on these peasants. And I think from there, we may see GG. You were talking about how SingSing's like a very tenacious player.
Yeah.
And so he might try to stay in this, but I'm having a hard time imagining a world where he can recover.
I think he's going to stay. You know, he met one of his colleagues from the Dota 2 scene, Dendy, who is also an international winner. They met on ladder. Dendy tower rushed him in Human Mirror, and SingSing stayed until his final building, kind of as a tongue-in-cheek, fake BM troll play.
Archmage in a horrible position. Horrible position there.
So
he's lucky he didn't get
he's basically denied.
down.
I love this play, by the way. This is such a good way to do it. You just leave like one raider over here so that you can't make peons, and this town hall will eventually die. And then, you know, to capitalize on your advantage, you start to put pressure over here at this main base.
He hasn't got pillage.
Try to just
That'd be
down
funny.
That army and keep the oppression on.
Yep. Of course, it is also nice to go to something else. Right now, Viper's got nothing else.
Actually, maybe he does.
He's got nothing else behind this.
Maybe he does
where
like
it's actually
pillage.
gravitating
It is
towards.
going up
No tier
in weird
3,
numbers.
no like Bloodlust or
His
something,
goal.
no Torrents. He's just
And he's
tier
not at
2
50
saving up
food
on 50.
plus.
One really cute thing he did is he let the Raider finish the Town Hall at the expansion. Only the Raider. That Raider had pillage. Pillage gets money when you attack enemy buildings. So he maximized the income of killing the Town Hall with the Raider.
Yeah, super smart. So the barracks and the new altar are kind of hanging on the outside. These two structures, I'm sorry, actually it's two barracks here. I don't know why I didn't see that a second ago. I was going to say, but the point in case is that, you know, you lose this barracks, you're going to lose that production. And it's a rough situation right now for SingSing. I mean, he's unable to get out of this position. He's going to have to some way fight his way out of this. I don't know that he can.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. He also has this tight squeeze where he tries to escape, where he would try to escape if he got attacked. And, you know, Warcraft 3 units, they're definitely going to trip over themselves. This is nothing like StarCraft 2 10 Zerglings going through a one gap, or where you think there shouldn't even be a gap and they just all go in 1 second. No, that's going to take some planning. We need an air traffic control tower in order to organize the traffic through this one if he ever got attacked. But Viper relents, goes away from the main.
SingSing is basically just trying to build up his forces again for a stronger A move.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you made about the Warcraft units compared to StarCraft.
But a fight like
StarCraft
this
2,
doesn't
the
go
units
well
are
for him.
almost like liquid.
But it's not
They're
easy
so
to run away
slippery
from this
and
fight
oily, they
without
just kind of maneuver
obviously
through each
losing
other, but
footman
there's more
there
of a
anyway. But he kind of has to run.
To the Warcraft 3 units. So look, SingSing tries to come out, and it's going to cost him. You know,
Simple
when
as.
these footmen have their shields up, they take less damage from ranged attacks, but they move slower, so they can't retreat.
True.
Big level up there. I believe that was on the Fire Lord.
Yep.
Excuse me.
It's going to be the Fire Lord.
And
That is a huge army now for Viper, with the Kodo providing the extra damage.
The beginning of the end? I feel like there's no way
2
to
level
survive
3
this.
heroes.
Looks like it. Tasteless Mountain King is taking a lot of damage.
Ooh.
That's Headhunter damage, boosted by a Kodo, 10% damage aura from the drums, and to attack upgrade with double range heroes.
And he's stopping the
double
Arcane
summons.
Sanctum.
SingSing is very
Sniping
poorly
the
equipped
peasant.
to deal with this, and his very exposed Arcane Sanctum is going to be taken down before it can even come up.
I mean, I
Yeah,
would just
shut
leave this
down
game,
there
obviously,
on that
but
building that was being constructed.
credit to SingSing,
And
who's going to keep trying,
Again,
I suppose.
another important structure just kind of hanging on the outside. And by the way, I can't say I
It's
blame
not
SingSing for having
100%
these
over,
buildings
but
out here.
I
There's
will
no,
typically
I think, room.
leave games
Maybe
if I
now
think
there
I've got
is
like
with
a
the little area that the
20%,
peasants have
10%
mined
chance
through
to win it.
Yes.
But it's
I just won't bother.
kind of clogged up back there. So this is a really unfortunate situation for him, because the Viper basically is just keeping this
Yeah, he
pressure
does have a
on.
decent chunk of militia to fight
and
back.
It's destroying the infrastructure over and
On the
over
bright
and
side,
over here for SingSing.
Viper doesn't have an
Very
expansion
good pressure
during all of
without
this.
the overextension from last game. It looks like Viper's comfortable with his ranged hero. The TC can be a little bit more of a weak link for him in some moments of the game. Even though Tauren Chieftain is more valuable than Firelord in general, it leads to a longer gameplay style that has bitten Viper in the buttocks a couple of times with SingSing's amazing tenacity and comeback potential. So here he has his double ranged hero. Again, we see him forgetting his Firelord. I wonder what's happening when this happens. Like, how are his control groups set up that he forgets his second hero?
Maybe he doesn't want experience on it. Level 3 is enough.
So the Viper's backed up. I think this is a smart play. Like, if you're not getting any opportunities to go on the map or to take units off of SingSing, you might as well just go and farm out these creeps, try to get to that level 6 as quickly as possible.
It's nighttime. You might not see
try
it.
to run the gauntlet. This is one game of Frogger that he doesn't want to mess with. No Stormbolts around. Sorry to interrupt there for a sec, but I thought we had an impending Firelord blunder potentially.
Oh man, there's so much damage from these headhunters now. They're going to start to take out these riflemen.
Has to run again.
And, I mean, we're seeing the retreat once more. It just feels more and more impossible here for SingSing. And, you know, unlike the previous game that we saw, it's like there's... I don't see any kind of opportunity. I don't see a weak hero. I don't see, you know, a hidden base or anything like that. So this is just getting worse and worse.
He did cut out those trees that you mentioned previously with the Arcane Sanctum finally being able to be made in the back. As he chopped away enough trees for infrastructure, nature making room for industry, making those priests is able to get some dispels maybe for the lava spawns and wolves. But meanwhile, the Viper has not been sitting
wins
idle,
this,
Tasteless.
then we can say priests are OP.
Yeah, I mean, he's continuing to just wipe everything here on the map. SingSing, let's see, what is he at level-wise? He's level 3 and level 2. Whereas we've got a level 4 Firelords, and then the Farseer is level 4 here right now. I think we're about to see another engagement.
Lovely item inventory as well on the heroes. Even though normally you wouldn't want so much defense on ranged heroes, for the Viper it's going to be real useful. If he loses his second hero, it will actually come back to life now. He's got Ankh of Reincarnation. Farseer has Potion of Invulnerability as well. Looks like one rifle might be shaved
nice
off.
try.
SingSing tried to do a deny.
Yeah.
But he didn't quite get the kill and ended up helping his own rifle
I think he cancelled the attack animation.
The noose is tightening around
just
SingSing, and
before
Viper's
about
the
to go
one
off.
that is inflicting that. He comes out with a TC third as well, Endurance Aura. He's just over 50 pop because he needed to... He felt he needed to make a hero and he had no population space otherwise. So he might as well open up with more unit production as well. There's no more point to stay at the 50 pop cap to
2 times pendant on Mountain King. Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be sick.
I do feel like we
for
are
a
in
late
the
game Mountain King,
but
at the moment,
SingSing comes out, he identifies that
he's
he
only got level
really
1 spells
to fight this. The only thing that he could maybe try to do is get this little green creep camp over here, but there's not really that many creeps in his reach, and even then, it's like you're gonna be at risk of the Viper just kind of coming out and punishing you. And I think at this moment we might see he's just gonna wipe this creep camp out and further eliminate possibilities of a comeback. And at this rate, the army's so big it wipes the creep camp before there's any way that SingSing can create some kind of a diversion.
I will say this. There is one advantage that you can leverage in Warcraft 3, which is not true in StarCraft.
50 food.
The upkeep mechanic. Upkeep mechanic is such an interesting strategical decision-making influencer.
Yeah.
Because Viper's at 59, which means he wants to fight. That means every second he's not fighting, he's getting less money. Every second SingSing isn't fighting, staying at 50, which is very disciplined considering the circumstances of having so much army around him. He's saying, no, if I'm going to come back at all, I do this.
I like the Viper creeping his expansion whilst he's doing this, by the way.
He just broke it.
He's setting up for an expansion.
Oh, SingSing.
Although, it doesn't look like he's got much
I'll
there.
tell you, man, when I was trying to learn this game, I found myself breaking that a lot. You know, when you're in the heat of it and you're trying to come back, you'll just end up popping that upkeep. But I think the
hotkeys are a bit messed up, but
want to do that
because he's going to tier 3. So how are you going to make use of your tier 3? If you go over 50 now, you'll have so little money when you get there. Whereas if you save up on 50,
just lose the headhunter.
Tier 3,
I wouldn't defend it. Just lose it. Just lose it. Just lose it. Keep running. Keep running.
Paladin. You could get all kinds of things.
Because now you lose the grunt as well.
He does have incredible items on his Mountain King. He's got double pendant of energy. If you can get a Mountain King level 3, Clap is going to be devastating. The Viper does get a tiny Great Hole that he farmed with some of his units at the same time, but I can't help but feel that SingSing is getting back in the game, and Viper is not getting as far ahead as he could. He didn't really know what to do when SingSing was turtling.
Yeah, I mean, SingSing is kind of waiting for this moment where he might have the right, the right mixture of units to try to take a fight.
All right. Let's go.
This might be that moment here. He takes
Let's
out
go.
another
Fire
Grubby.
Lord
Does
actually
great
taking a
job of
huge
targeting
chunk of
those.
damage,
A
but
big
Mountain
stop here
King
from
really
Torrent Chieftain.
fragile right
Hey,
now.
man,
He's going to
the Fire
run
Lord is
back.
very low,
He's
and
going to
it goes
lose that.
down. Oh
Maybe,
my
you know,
God.
He's got the Monk of
retire to the
Reincarnation.
priest.
That's what we're talking
Right
about.
to the back.
Very
Nicely
useful
done.
for the Viper with his flagging
Oh,
hero
but
control.
the Ankh.
He targeted the Mountain King a lot as well.
The Ankh was huge. I didn't know he had a Ankh.
Another War Stomp could
That
take
was
down
big.
this Mountain King potentially. But TC is looking for the backline, getting that rifle. Really good War Stomp.
Yeah,
Does
great
put him
War Stomp
in
back there, but
a
the Torrent
vulnerable
Chieftain's getting
position.
low. He's a little bit below half health. He's going to back up. So many of the riflemen are going to have to retreat here. Water Elemental taken out. And once again, it's kind of the
economy
same
started
story.
now for Viper.
You know, SingSing unable to advance on the map. We've got that
SingSing's
second
now
base,
57
and while
food,
Warcraft
and
3 a lot
Viper
of
is
times is
50.
about hero levels and abilities. If you run out of gold, that's going to be it.
Yeah.
And so right now,
No, I don't think he targeted the wrong hero. He just didn't check items. I do that all the time. I don't check my opponent's items anywhere near enough.
I don't know, 2 or 3
You
seconds.
sometimes just make an assumption.
There is a clock on here. Like if SingSing can't make anything happen in the next couple minutes, he is going to suffocate economically.
Yeah, true. True. He probably doesn't know about that expansion. He might be aware that potentially is happening, but that clock is ticking. Every second, a second passes for him. He does get a Paladin out as a third. That's going to help him keep his Mountain King alive.
Don't think we've seen that yet. I am not afraid.
So, looks like the Torrent Chieftain's going to be sent back home. I think he wants to item up, basically, over here. I mean, the Viper knows he's, like, in a very winning position, but he needs to basically, you know, cross his T's and dot his I's.
Good for them
I think
trying
this is a
out
very
triple
smart
hero.
move
It's
to
not
go
easy
all the
to
way
do
up
triple
here
hero.
to this big
It's just
red
more
creep
hotkeys.
camp.
Or at least if you do it how I do it, because I don't use F1,
A couple
F2,
more
F3 for my
levels,
heroes.
come over here and then probably come down and try to poke out that inevitable base. Because there's a lot of different ways that the Viper can play this at this point in time. SingSing has basically only one way that he can play this, and that's to try to sneak a base up over here.
Yeah, I guess he could. It's so expensive. He does have the lumber surplus necessary to invest 100% of his lumber peasants to throw up that expansion. But he would need to save up for it for a full minute, spending nothing else on army, so his army won't grow.
Yeah.
Alternatively,
yeah, maybe I'm dead wrong on that. So in this situation, I mean, how do you want to play this as SingSing? Do you want to try to take it with a fight then? Just spend all your money on items and kind of YOLO it?
that's pretty much it. Don't buy Town Portal. Just do one final fight, unless it goes so well that you do just enough damage, but you don't win and the game goes on, but the expansion is dead.
I'm typically quite greedy like that.
Yeah.
He's got his inner fire
I'll
tech
save my
upgrade
money and
ready.
not
He's
buy
got
the Town
third
Portal.
Hero Paladin. He's 64 pop. Most of that is not in workers because he lost some. And then you see Viper's at 68. So army size wise, kind of similar. Viper does have higher levels, but they are of lower quality. AMMK Pala is better.
Is Tasteless going to bed after this best of 5?
And the Fire
I suspect
TC
he would
is high
do.
quality, but he's only level 2.
Because, yeah,
For the late
he's
game,
got
that
his
is.
stuff out of the
First, he's a
way.
good rushing hero,
But
don't
he's
get me
very
wrong.
good caster.
For the late game,
I mean,
those human heroes.
the only
are better.
downside is
So,
he obviously doesn't know
high-tech
Warcraft 3 so well,
army,
so he can't
good
truly
upgrades,
speak to
inner
it, but he's
fire,
still
triple
good
hero.
caster regardless.
SingSing wants to fight one battle. His main is almost empty. He wants that battle to be in the next minute, Tasteless.
Yeah. The Viper cleans up the second big creep camp. We're now having SingSing move out. That gold mine, by the way, it's at 100 gold. It's about to go away.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
And from
yeah.
there, it's all up to SingSing to try to make this work. Now, the expansion is completely exposed. There's not even a burrow here.
Yeah.
So he could come here and take it out. By the way, obviously, it should go without saying, but we'll point it out anyways. Both these guys mine out at the same time.
Yeah.
So SingSing's going to try to basically take
interesting
this base
position.
out and then make it a super
I kind of like it, to be honest. Uses
Double summons once again.
the Orc
MK
Great
trying to get
Hall
in
as a
position to
shield.
clap. Only gets the heroes and summons. Not really very good. Also, SingSing has Stormbolt level 2, not clap.
But there's
he has
so
more
many
hero
units from the
focusing
Viper
potential,
on the east-hand
much less
side.
damage on army. Really not that threatening. And that's a lot of Berserkers, Tasteless.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. They're all coming in here. We're starting
More
to
chain
see,
lightnings, very
SingSing
high-level
basically
heroes.
pinned inside the base. Torrent Chieftain's going to
Viper.
get low. He decides to micro that back and does so.
I think this looks good for the Viper, even if he
back
loses
in,
that
might
Torrent
die,
Chieftain in
The
a second.
peons are up. Yeah, the peons are up here. The Torrent Chieftain comes back in.
Because even if
They
that
try to get a
goes,
snipe on
he's
that.
still got so much.
Gets away with 21
oh my God,
life.
it's so low.
Now he's got to
Mountain
try
King
not to
dropping
bring
really
that Tauren Chieftain
Couple of
back.
hits away. Berserker shooting. There's a Holy Light on Paladin, but he didn't
Oh.
use it. 19 health on Mountain King. He gets away. SingSing is at 51 population. Viper is at 61.
Bring
It's
all
really
your
close.
militia.
Both heroes survived with an average of 20 health.
This is obviously good for Viper.
So, I mean, human can heal up pretty fast, right?
Yep.
In these situations, we already saw
He'll probably
that.
go for expansion, I imagine.
In the previous game, but I guess
But he
the
needs
only thing you
another
can do now is try to
80
attack
gold.
in once more. Now, remember, guys, every second that passes is more resources that Viper is drinking in this game. So that means more units, more items. Yeah, I mean, more room for error.
I like how he leaves
Where
the
SingSing
units
is
around.
Okay, so he's
just
going
to
to long
double
distance
check
mine, so
no
it's not like he doesn't
expansion
have
or
any
something.
money. But if you don't
It's a
play
little
RTS games, the
inefficient,
distance to
but I
travel
think
for
the
workers
value
when
he
they're
gets
not
from
right
the
next to it
information
is
of
so
knowing where his
painful.
opponent is worth
Does this
it
happen in
It's-
StarCraft
yeah.
1,
for his
long
case.
distance mining in the late game?
Every once in a while, but once you're long distance mining, the entire game from that player's perspective is to make it so that you're not long distance mining. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're saving up for a hatchery, essentially.
Yeah, you're doing anything in your power to start a base, because once that base is there, then you immediately are back to a normal functional economy.
I woke up with a lovely headache today.
I don't
Still
think
got a
that's
bit of a
gonna happen
headache.
for Sing
I think I'm
anymore. I
trying
think you
to
might just like buy one
cry
item
it out
from the
through
long
my
distance
eyes.
income. It comes in chunks. You buy item, that's your power spike. Now it's time to go. Okay, this might very well be the last fight of the game.
Boom.
Mountain King will go in
Boom.
for a thunderclap. There was a war stamp also. Mountain King drops real low.
The
There's
A move
massive
from
damage
Viper
here
looks
for
strong
Viper.
with those
Viper has
berserkers.
2-3 upgrades on the Zerkers.
Ah.
He's targeting the Mountain King. Mountain King drops really low. Huge war stamp in the back.
Crazy play here. The human player getting
Archmage
so low right
in
now.
lots
so
of trouble.
Squishy riflemen.
Oh.
As his Tauren Chieftain is running down here, the Archmage gets a quick heal, so it's not going to be picked off just yet. But
Lava
the
spawns,
Headhunters are so
spitting
impressive with the
fire.
damage they have.
He's got
Stormbolt
too much
on the
attention to that
TC,
Mountain
no
King.
longer
Now it's
has
distracting him.
invulnerability potion.
Good heal
Holy Light,
though.
he kills the Tauren Chieftain. That's mental damage. That's good for morale.
Oh, Mountain King.
Yeah,
That was a good chain lightning.
Gets that,
That was a good chain
the Mountain
lightning.
King there.
Clever.
There's just too much HP
I'm pretty
on
sure
all
that was
these
deliberate
units.
to catch the
And
Mountain King off.
I think the inevitability in this game is that
That
there will be a
Paladin
push
was
that will
about
continue
6-7
from
mana
all the
away
way
from
down
healing
towards
up the
where that gold mine
Mountain King.
is, excuse me, and that'll be GG.
That
That'll
was
be
a good
checkmate.
chain.
SingSing did get enough money to actually revive the Mountain King, and in true fantasy, GG timing remains in the game, but he's proven me wrong several times before, actually, that he can still win these games. This might be one bridge too far, even for him. Viper is closing in on the base that he last saw about 20 minutes ago during that furious attack that seemed like it would never end. He's coming back to a place that he used to own almost. And will kill the altar for the second time in this game. Looks like Mountain King will not get back into the game, Tasteless.
Yeah, Mountain King's going to be out, and I think, we're going to see SingSing tap out here. I think he's going to fight to the very end, but again, I mean, with no expansions.
I don't know
in
how
sight,
some people
no
do
way to
this when they just
remake
keep fighting when
heroes.
they got like next to
And
nothing.
Right now, we're going to see the Viper basically drive a wedge.
Different
so
mindset.
When there's no attacking units to focus on, these peasants are all going to be killed.
Right. Yeah.
And we're basically, this game's done.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm like, should we just keep play-by-playing this?
I don't
What
think
do
it's
we do?
BM. I just think some players just keep
know
going.
what,
They just
Firelord
almost use
Ultimate
it as an
is?
excuse to keep practicing or something.
No, what does it do?
Volcano. It's a channeling spell that makes a volcano and then starts throwing molten rock loads all over him and around. Like, they do stun, they do damage. I think they do damage to self as well. It actually has friendly fire.
Yeah, I think it still
Wild
does.
ult.
That's crazy. I was amazed, by the way, when I started to learn Warcraft 3, how many games you don't end up getting level 6 heroes in.
Right?
If in my newbie experience, I just always imagined, oh, it's like someone gets to level 6 and then it's over. But yeah, it's a lot of just grinding before you get to that point.
If you had to guess, how many times do you get level 6 heroes in a game between two players?
Sorry, give me a second. My cat's attacking my setup. Hold on a second.
So cute.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Random cat comes out of nowhere.
What was your question? Sorry.
Viper
Sorry.
just used the reveal He just used the reveal on SingSing. Wanted to make sure that it's not interpreted as bad manners.
I am with the cast.
Crystal, that's the ball that shows you where something is, like Farsight.
Okay, so
oh no, I just asked.
What's our score then?
It's 2-2. I just asked the ratio of games that end up with an ultimate in play. That's it.
Okay, I'll let these guys yap for a little bit. I'm gonna go start my sausages off. That's gonna take about 15 minutes for those. The rest of the food I actually prepped, so that's basically done. So I can start eating relatively soon. I'm not sure exactly when. I'll try to wait until after this series, but this series has gone on a long time. I don't think I'm going to be covering the 2v2 games. We'll see what time they start. But this is just the second set. And we're still on the second set of games, so there's still 2 more sets to go on top of that. So if they all go to like best of 5, maximum amount of games, it's quite a long time. So I feel like the 2 versus 2s are a bit odd. I think they're just there for, I guess, fun, or they weren't sure how long the game's going to be. Maybe they needed some more filler, but I don't think it was necessary.
1 in 10 to 1 in 30, something like that. Not common,
Man,
which makes it more rare and special. Quite fun.
Yeah, well, it feels very earned when you finally do get this, that level 6 hero. Yeah. So this is it. We're gonna go to the final game.
It's crazy.
I don't know who's gonna take this. I think that the Viper has basically shown, and you correct me because I don't really know what I'm talking about here, but it seems to me like the Viper has managed to get himself in better positions, but SingSing's tenacity, his ability to kind of fight back and create opportunities for himself has been very impressive.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly it. If I would analyze this as either one of the players, I would say that Viper won 4 games in a row. But through to, of course, a lot of it is to SingSing's credit. I would say that SingSing both won and lost those games. This is how I analyze as a pro. Like, I guess it's not really. I mean, I shouldn't be sharing it because it's easy to misinterpret for viewers. But like, when you're analyzing as a coach or as like a player, you're like, okay, did I make game-losing mistakes? Did I fall behind where I should have lost? And the answer is yes in many cases for SingSing. And for Viper, like, he should have won those. Like, those are his, but then he blundered. So then, of course, he shouldn't have won those. But you see, kind of what I'm trying to say. Like, as I struggle to explain that, but that's how I analyze. So Viper would have to like improve his late game in order to close out games that he earned. Whereas SingSing, his job is to change up the game flow. Though I think he lacks experience for this use case, where he needs to maybe like do a 1-base play and make himself scarce on the map. And do some off-the-radar creeping so that he doesn't play into the Farseer harass, doesn't meet him head-to-head, and then suddenly, bam, shablam, I'm in your burrows, and you didn't see this coming. That would be really effective maybe against Viper.
Yeah, when I look at the Viper, and I was saying this earlier, like, we have a whole bunch of people from different backgrounds, right, in this tournament, but the common thread is that they're, like, RTS people that didn't play Warcraft 3, right? Myself included in that. But I think it's also fair to say that maybe the Viper is the best player, even though obviously SingSing's extremely skilled. I mean, the Viper is one of, if not the best, RTS Age of Empires player. I don't keep up with competitive Age of Empires that much, although I would love to learn the game and try to understand it more. But when I look at how he plays, he seems to kind of have a very good decision tree of how to approach the game and how to try to get himself in a good position. But one of the things about Warcraft 3 that I feel like is very different from all these other RTS games is the way the late game operates and kind of what you're supposed to do with your advantage.
Yeah, and how is it different, you feel like?
So, like, I'm a StarCraft player, right? So, for me, it's just about gobble up all the resources on the map, right? And kind of any base you take, they can't have. And, just suffocate them, make it impossible for them to play, assuming that you have this kind of overwhelming lead, but you don't know what to do. Like Artosis said a long time ago, when you're ahead, get more ahead. But I think in Warcraft 3, that it's not always obvious, like, what exactly you want to do. I guess, like, try to get more heal scrolls, try to, pick off units when you can. But what we've seen with the Viper is he seems to get into a good position and occasionally loses control of the game in that process.
Yeah. No, but that's definitely true. You can't just sit back with bonus income. You have to also compete for the extra resources. Age of Empires has stone gold, wood, and food, 4 resources. Warcraft 3 has gold and lumber, which on the surface of it, macro-wise, looks really simplified compared to Age of Empires. And looks even more simplified compared to StarCraft as well, because in StarCraft, you're constantly expanding. In Warcraft 3, you sometimes expand. So on the face of it, macro-wise, Warcraft 3 looks really simplistic. A little impoverished maybe even in the macro department. But there's other resources that are a little bit less transparent, such as, like you said, the heal scroll, the item resources, how do you compete for those? The creeps on the map, which are kind of like pseudo expansions as well that you're fighting over with your opponent as they give gold and items and XP and so on.
Yeah. It's so, I mean, if the Viper, I think, can kind of do what he's been doing in all these games, I think he's going to be in good shape. And it does seem like, and you can tell that this is like why he's a good tournament player, is he's making these like adjustments from game to game. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think if I had to guess who's going to take this, I think it's going to be the Viper.
Yeah, I feel it's going that way as well, because SingSing hasn't adapted. We see Firelord or TC opening from Viper. If he looks at the stats, he can say Firelord 2-0, TC 0-2. And usually in a long series like this, both players are thinking about that and will then try to make a judgment call about, do I repeat the winning thing or do I have a faith that trumps the stats and says, no, I know how to make TC work and I'm going to win with that now. But before we go on, I'm going to leave the audience just to mull that over, which heroes we're going to see, whether SingSing will adapt. I've ushered in a small 2 to 4 minute break to give the players a little chance to stretch their legs, maybe eat a banana, some blueberries or walnuts or whatever, and stretch their legs, toilet break. I don't know if you need it, but
let's all go pee, guys. Let's pick our bladders up.
All right,
so
let's
we're
all go
ready
pee.
to go for game 5.
All go pee
Everybody
together.
pee. 1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
Hey, is he getting his food as well? We're all AFK here. Got a couple of sandwiches, some cheese sausages, and a bunch of veg. I'll try not to eat too noisily on stream. I think that bugged some people beforehand. I might have to just mute myself for a bit or something. It's not so easy to do because I don't have hotkeys for it. No, I prepped this earlier. Apart from the sausages, those were prepped for me. Conveniently. I prepped the rest of it though. It's the bowl. That's the bowl of salad.
Brought some snacks.
Okay, so who's gonna win in this final game?
Then what was I gonna do? I was gonna do something when I got back here. Oh yeah, I wanted to check what's next.
Do I still do gym workouts? Nah, I haven't
Yes.
been at the gym
After
in a
this,
long
we do
time.
the 2-on-2. And then we're gonna do the upper bracket semi-final. So the winner versus the winner. And then we're gonna get to the second half. So that's RedPanda versus either SingSing or Viper. But first, a little best of 1 2-on-2.
I'm back. Oh, we're going to do the 2v2 first?
Yes, 2-on-2, and then the upper bracket semis will be next.
Well, they haven't finished off SingSing versus the Viper yet, have they?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, what? I was like, all right.
No, this is really unorthodox thing that we're doing.
I was like, this is just crazy. Like, why don't we start one of the other best of fives and then come back to this one? Like, keep the suspense going.
Sounded weird.
Would you have
So
disagreed?
it's your tournament, man. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, fair.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm ready to go if our players are.
I'm finishing a little snack. I get hungry from watching these games, man.
Me too.
We burned a lot of calories casting that, Grubby.
Yep.
This is fun, by the way. I've really been enjoying this. I know I definitely don't know enough about the game to have any authority when I talk about it, but it's been cool to learn.
You make a lot of good assessments based on your RTS experience, and it's fun to learn the game through these casts as well. Kind of see what decisions they're making, seeing the game flow a bit.
Yeah. No, this is a really interesting concept to kind of bring people that, you know, because RTS games, I mean, they're so difficult to learn. So it's, you know, it's hard to kind of get people into them, and then they do what they're kind of supposed to do. But when you get a bunch of people that are good at RTS games but aren't, you know, familiar with Warcraft 3, it makes for a very interesting situation.
For those that haven't seen, I'm putting in the Twitch chat the link to the first series, which was Tasteless versus RedPanda. So if you want to click on that and, I don't know, like the video or watch it, if you haven't seen it, I appreciate that. Cheers.
So, we're going to do this on, what is the next, is the next map Tidehunters, or is that just the map we haven't selected yet?
Yes, it's Tidehunters. It's the remaining map in the pool. Looks like Viper's
Tidehunters
ready,
is
just
a lot
kinda
easier
waiting
to
for
expand.
SingSing. He looks super locked in.
So I think SingSing
I
is going to
think
have an
he just
easier time
started.
on this one.
I think his client might still be bugged.
Let's see. I feel like I would just shock him, but
Oh, he says ready.
oh, okay, good. Then let's send it. You know, when I used to play StarCraft 1, way back in the day,
Yeah.
before you know, before I knew anybody from anything, I used to play like one base lurker drop, slow overlord on Lost Temple, ventral
I
sacks.
know exactly what you're talking about. I used to do that too. That was before I picked Protoss. I'm like, well, this is pretty fun. You just put, you know, you drop 2 lurkers into their base and they leave the game.
Yep.
Yeah, one hatch lurker is what that's called. Yeah.
One hatch lurkers, and then like one Nexus Reaver drop. I think I did
Oh,
one
yeah, of
one base
course.
Terran as well. I had a 2 base Forge fast expand into 12 cannons into carriers, no other units. Just a lot of noob builds.
I really love eating.
Yeah, it's a funny concept
Such
in
a
RTS
luxury
games
to
when you
eat.
start to realize you have to get a base up. Like in a lot of them, you have to try to figure out how to like get somewhere. And
Would you rather never have to eat again or still be able to eat?
But anytime I got to like 3 base, 4 base, it was very common to get to 3,000-4,000 minerals, which I guess happens to people new to Warcraft 3 as well. Like 2k gold, we've all been there.
oh, that happens to me where I'm like microing so hard and I realize
long
I haven't
time ago I
made
had
a
lobster.
unit or a building in minutes. Like, it's crazy.
It's more okay to do that in Warcraft 3 because there's a bigger emphasis on micro, but don't go overboard like that, right?
Right. Well, you know, it's funny because like in a game like Warcraft, like because I come from the StarCraft background, right? Like I would tell somebody if they had too much money, I'm like, make anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone's saying they'd rather still never have to eat. I don't know, though. You'd miss it. You'd miss it. I love eating.
And now you don't have the room to make these other important units, and in a lot of these games, in Warcraft, you're trying to
Pork up like a
kind of
pig.
compose this ultimate army.
Yeah.
Or, you know, maybe around 80 supply. And that is comprised of X number of this unit and X number of, or
Right.
Y number of that unit.
It's not like that in StarCraft, where you're like, you're gonna get to 6 Marauders, and then you'll never make them again. And if they die, you don't replace them.
Right, exactly. So we got this game started up, and we're gonna have creeping again, and it's the same formula, guys. This is so far this tournament is the Farseer Rush tournament.
You like to eat without getting fat? Just have salad. A lot of salad. That's my trick. That way I get to eat a lot, but you don't give yourself too much processed food, or you can't kind of snacks.
It is for me, at least.
They're just terrible for you, really. Sugar and all
Well,
that.
you got to see what Turin's going to do
Nice,
to them.
but terrible for you.
He's got some special tactics to punish exactly this type of playstyle. We might be able to see it. It kind of depends. Not on the same half of the bracket. Where's SingSing go? Okay.
I don't
He's
salt the
using his
salad or
militia to
anything.
creeper camp.
I just have some mixed other food and interject it in between the salad.
Right now, the Farseer is just staying on the outside. He's doing whatever damage he can do to these units. I think the push away here from SingSing's been pretty good. It looks like for the time being, he probably still has the option to expand. We're going to see. We did have one game where he went for a 1 base. But judging from this, are you able to tell what his intentions are? Oh, maybe he is going to 1 base because he's already getting tier 2.
Yeah, there we go. It's actually not a terrible map, I feel like, for going for an expansion. Logistically, it's nearby, small map, close to base, so you can summon militia often. But he's going to tech. I don't think he liked the game flow. I feel like SingSing probably liked game flow where it gets to a decent, fair game state, where he doesn't have the benefits of bonus money, but at least he gets to play with mounticking. He had a couple of good hero snipes with Stormbolt, so I think he would like to recreate that and not give Viper a chance to do Farseer Firelord all-in or quasi-all-in against his Expo again. Good judgment call by him.
Okay, so we've got, again, more
This game's
pushing
really
away
good
of the
so far for
Farseer.
SingSing.
Viper just pulls his wolf away. It looks like it will barely not get away there. The Archmage does get the kill there. Archmage right now about a quarter of the way through their level 2.
Yep.
And, you know, at this point in time, it's going to be hard for, I think, the Viper to do too much more with this because the hero... the human, excuse me, can always just kind of retreat behind the infrastructure, but he does find a farm that's maybe a little bit too far out.
Okay, nice farm cancel. It also forces SingSing to relocate his peasants to another location. SingSing is making a small blunder here by making a farm in a prime real estate spot for future infrastructure, sanctums, in case you need to make them in the back of the base. You want to prevent cluttering up those really large open spaces. And he's doing that. Oh, nice deny there on the wolf, so Viper doesn't give XP to the Archmage. In the meantime, Viper is tier 2. He starts his Tauren Chieftain.
So with Viper having map control right now, I mean, he could probably go ahead and move out and start to try to take out these creeps. He didn't go for, you know, some of these easier ones, like the green one here, kind of towards the middle.
Yep.
Instead, he's going to, I guess, go free up his expansion location. Is that the game plan here?
Yeah, looks like it. Probably a tier 2 early expansion. SingSing doesn't know this, but the sudden suspicious disappearance of Farseer can be immediately followed by pulling militia and creeping a really high value camp. Because they're leaving sorry, go ahead.
No, I said that makes sense.
Yeah. Because why would they leave? Like, if they're leaving, they're not going to leave for 10 seconds because you can't get anywhere in 10 seconds.
Or
so if
does
they've
he?
left, you can assume they're leaving for at least a minute. And that should be capitalized
What's
on.
he going to do? The orange below
ventures
him?
forth with the same level of caution that was necessary while Farseer was there, and he doesn't adapt to, like, the new state of things. Having said that, he's doing fine, you know, he's creeping. He's going for a bigger camp already. This camp drops really valuable items like Claws of Attack +8, Pendant of Energy, Talisman of Evasion.
So the turtle creep camp here for the Goblin Merchant is going to be cleared out.
Archmage's going to get level 3.
SingSing having a little bit more breathing room. He is going to take out the periphery camps at his base as his Mountain King is going to go ahead and meet up here with the rest of the army. And quietly, the Viper is going to be expanding. So it's going to...
Who am I rooting for? It's very tough to say in between these two, because I like the fact that SingSing's come into this tournament a bit later, but done so well. But Viper, I assume, would win because he's such a good Age of Empires 2 player, and he's certainly playing a lot better than the 1300 MMR he has. But he does make some epic mistakes with his heroes and throwing the game, so it's so hard to tell, honestly, between these two. Either one could go through. I don't mind.
Will it be a surround? SingSing is quite good at them, but this is a high difficulty surround, and it looks like Farseer will skip through the net there. But Viper staying a little bit close for a follow-up Stormbolt. I think that has to be a TP. Sloppy.
Oh, there goes the hero again.
Oh, No!
He likes to lose those
He
heroes.
loses it. Big win here for SingSing.
Yep.
But SingSing's got a lot of injured units on the outside.
If he
here.
just
He's gonna
knows
drop
how to
at least
town
2 of these
portal or
footmen.
not lose his heroes all the time,
target
Viper
fire
can
on the
easily
Mountain King.
win a
Mountain
lot
King
of these
does have
games.
Talisman of Evasion. There's still space on the top. Viper blocks the top spot with his Turin Chieftain. He's getting a lot of hits in. Raider coming in for the block and the surrounds, and he gets it.
That was good.
This was a big 5-head play by the Viper to sacrifice his Farseer, which is a shit hero in the late game, and he decides to power level his TC by deliberately letting his Farseer be killed so he can take a favorable engagement. Super smart.
I don't know if it's quite that level, but that was honestly very good because that Mountain King was quite easily going to get away. But those few extra Raider desperate body block moves just bought enough for the Mountain King to go down.
What? Okay, I was like, what? Man, all right. Well, in that case,
It does work out that way, by the way. Like, it's true that Farseer scales poorly and the TC gets better levels, better use of those levels, but I do believe it was a genuine mistake.
I think he wanted to. He did get a good exchange on that fight, but yeah, unable to town portal out of there. The Mountain King's already, by the way, back in this game. Where's the Farseer?
Being
that,
remade takes 90.
Almost done.
He's level 2, it takes 66 seconds. Probably started it soon after it died. It's much cheaper to get it from the altar than the tavern, so good job. Viper is fully mining from expansion right now. He's actually playing this so well, outside of sometimes his hero control and saves.
Gherkin.
Farseer comes out. Let's see if he's going to buy anything. Looks like Viper's going to creep. SingSing is going to attack already. The correct play here for Viper would be to finish the entire camp and then just TP on top of the expansion. I wonder if he's going to try and run away from this camp, which is actually kind of tough.
Yeah, the Viper's going to pull these few peons away. He hasn't moved them all the way down, so it looks like he's probably going to try to retake this once he's finished this creep camp. But gosh, it takes a long time to take out the creeps of the Goblin Laboratory. He takes out some and decides to opt with a TP because he doesn't. Oh, and it's almost like a TP that like perfectly surrounds this, and that prompts SingSing to do his own counter TP to get back home. So great save by the Viper, and he'll go back to that previous creep camp and clean up what he started.
Yeah, will he? He dropped the big item. I couldn't see what it was. He may never remember it again. There was a high value item. I mean, it could be anything. It could be Devotion Aura, could be... Hell, it could be True Shot Aura. One of them gives damage, one of them gives survivability, so both very good. Looks like the church is coming in to convert, but it looks like the Viper does not abide by this religion and will kill the priest.
That's
it's
good
kind
one.
of sacrilegious, but gets a free unit. Viper is at 51 population.
That's in honor of the Age of
Worst spot
Empires
you can
player.
be at in Warcraft 3.
Yeah, getting below 50 would put you at that no upkeep, basically. We're going to have what could be another engagement here. These players are going to be running right into each other. The Farseer calls out the 2 wolves. We've got Chain Lightning coming down. Looks like one Headhunter in the front is picked off. That's going to be traded out here for a priest on the other side.
It's pretty even.
Mountain King at about half HP here. No obvious targets.
It's a little better for Viper, but...
And so he's just slowly pushing his way through. The Riflemen are not being microed back, so SingSing's going to drop another one. That's going to level up that Farseer.
Another big thunderclap.
Needs to bring
there,
Militia in,
dropping the
really.
attack rate,
Obviously, it's
movement rate, and
hindsight,
damaging
but
the Headhunters.
if Militia
There's
were
a
running
heal
in right
scroll
now, that would
offsetting much of
definitely
it. This
make a
Mountain
big
King
difference.
is not level 3. He does not have his power spike. Viper did all of this without.
I don't know if
Warstone.
SingSing
TC
puts Militia on a
standing in the
hotkey.
middle, taking up some of those
I put mine
shots.
on like 6.
Viper's able to beat SingSing around the head with money, basically turning SingSing's battle plan in game 1 and 2 against him, having a 2-base advantage, and SingSing is really up against it. Now, navigate into those arcane towers at your own peril. It's going to burn.
So you have like a group of 5 or 6 peasants. You press 6 to select them. Press C, Shift, A plus left click where you want them to go. The fight that's happening. Pretty quick and easy to do, generally speaking, once you get used to the muscle memory.
Yeah, I feel like SingSing's in a bit of a tough spot. We do have Town Portal Scrolls here, in the pocket for the Vipers. So, I mean, he's going to clear out these big creeps, getting the item from the level 7 turtle. And then he can probably just Town Portal back home and save his base again, right?
Yeah, very probably. You can aim that TP as you saw before. Got the surround on SingSing, I imagine, very similar now. But he's going to TP without some of his army. The TC is not there. This is the blunder. But SingSing didn't wait to find out.
That was very fortunate for Viper there. But I like this kind of play from SingSing where he keeps going for the economy. I don't normally do that. I'll notice he's way more aggressive. Now, I'm quite an aggressive player, but he goes for the economy quite a lot to try to slow it down and get the easy experience on those peons. You notice that? He goes for those guys a lot.
Single creep in the bottom left. Viper continues picking off those creep camps that are nearest SingSing to further make it difficult for SingSing to be on the map. SingSing fully embracing the concept that human is a TP race. He understands this very well. If you're out of position, because you don't have a speed aura or speed scroll, you need to get out. So he'll always buy a town portal before going out of his base. But that does make these moves very expensive every time he gets away. And look at the movement speed on those raiders. Endurance aura level 2 with the TC level 4. He's got double invulnerability potion, double heal scroll on the Tarn Chieftain. TC moving in for a war stomp. It's big!
Nicely
Level
done.
4
He's going to start to pick
Chieftain
off some of these
really
riflemen over
beefy.
here in the front. And once again, SingSing really doesn't have an easy way to try to, I don't know, extract value from this interaction.
It's looking
more
bad
riflemen
now
are going to
for
fall. We're seeing
SingSing.
almost no losses. Maybe an overextended raider up here. But
Yeah.
again, it's a game where, you know, maybe the Viper can kind of afford to do that. So another rifleman on the outside is picked off. And similar to, I can't remember which game it was, but one of the previous games we casted, we were talking about human infrastructure being on the outside versus being on the inside. And if SingSing can't win this fight, all these buildings on the outside are going to be very, very vulnerable.
At least he finally got the
True, that
militia
would mean
in.
no Sanctum anymore. TC comes in for a big war stomp. Arcane towers now get retargeted to TC. SingSing has a lot of eye for detail, but he just doesn't have the numbers. He's trying to get a thunderclap. The Orcish horde is here.
Wow.
The coming of the tides of darkness is upon us as they crash upon the shores of the
He
Alliance.
he
Human and
teleports too
dwarven
much.
and elven kind rallies in the back of the base as they try to hold on for dear life. But the Viper's relentless onslaught is not going to abate anytime soon. And SingSing is up against it. He's against the ropes, Tasteless.
This is looking really bad, man. I mean, more pickoffs over here on the outside. The Arcane Sanctum, it may end up being picked off. Probably not before this priest will get out, but this is going to have to be remade back where the wood has been cleared out over here in the back. And I mean, I don't know. I would love to see a way that SingSing could come out of this, but I feel like this is ultimately up to the Viper to just basically play a clean game, right?
Yes.
Push through just kind of rinse and repeat. Whether it's through, you know, chewing away at what SingSing has, or it's just letting SingSing mine out and then not.
You know what's kind of funny? Have they actually done this creep camp at the northeast? Because this is normally one of the first creep camps to get done because it can drop like a greater potion of greater mana. Where the ogre is, it's quite easy to pull out with range units, but it hasn't been done yet.
Potential for catch
Torn
here.
Chieftain
The
almost
ensnare's gonna
5.
go on the Mountain King. TC doesn't have War Stomp. There's the second ensnare, the surround attempt. There's still a gap. There's no more gap. There's a surround. That's it. No! It's open! It's open! Mountain King slips away!
Like a Surgling. The Surgling Mountain
So he's
King.
going to back up again. We've got some of the creeps just taking out a stray headhunter here in the back. Another level up here.
A straight
I mean, as
headhunter?
these units kind of flee behind this tower, I think that Viper can seesaw his attention back over to the creep camps to try to clear this out before SingSing can come back, I think.
Yeah, the camp is definitely messing Viper up a bit. If SingSing did this on purpose... Oh! Oh, that item, Illyria's Flute of Accuracy. But yeah, if SingSing did this on purpose to make the camp mess up Viper, kudos to him. At the end of the day, I think it kind of RNG'd against Viper as he walked past it. Now, rewind the clock, Tasteless. Remember that moment where suddenly SingSing was not being pressured anymore? He could have militia crept this camp. And he could have got the true shot aura right there. The bonus experience, solo MK, or I think he didn't have MK yet. He would have had that bonus damage. It could have been huge. 7% bonus damage for all ranged units.
Yeah, no, it's funny. You know, that was a really interesting concept you were explaining to me earlier that, like, okay, if the Farseer's gone for long enough, then you know you have this small window of timing to basically, militia creep the big camps. Is a great way to come back, but he wasn't able to do that.
There's like a flank
Now we've
about
got
to
SingSing
happen. Is
trying to
Viper
push
setting
out,
up
but
a flank?
It seems like we're going to try to. He's
It's
going to
like a
try to
trap
basically
he was setting
sandwich
up
him here.
there.
One control group coming up here on the left side, the other on the right.
Yep.
And at minimum, I would imagine Viper will be happy if there's a forced town portal again. The town portal scroll is painfully expensive.
Viper is
and
showing
so that's
off
just kind of one way to punish.
with his pincer movement here. Town Portal might happen if SingSing don't like to
Don't
fight,
be
like you
Torrentino.
said. He
Does he have enough
one.
mana yet?
1 mana away from War Stomp.
Yeah,
There's
he
a pretty
is.
big clap on the back line, but once again, it's clap level 1.
Ah.
He has Stormbolt level 2, so the only chance that SingSing really has is to focus
a Town
Hero,
Portal.
in my opinion, with the way that he picked his abilities. No losses for SingSing. Credit to him, he gets away, and he's at 50 population.
How much gold has he got left in
Now,
that mine?
Maths talk. If you don't like maths, make sure to think about something else like your favorite food or your favorite person in the world or anything. Just drift off for a bit. Math-wise, SingSing right now is getting 10 gold per second. I call that 100% income. There is 2 bases for Viper. He's getting 14 gold per second because of the 30% upkeep. That's only a 40% difference. Now, additionally, there's only 30 pop left for Viper to fill out to 100. If SingSing just saves up as much money as possible in one base, he can make it to 70 population once, and Viper will only be like 80 because he's probably gonna pit stop at 80. There is a way for extended one base situations to turn into a 70 v 80 fight, even though that goes against all logic from any RTS.
Oh, he's priests.
However, that way is usually not looking like this with raiders picking off priests.
Oh,
Oh my
the third
God.
priest as well.
Yeah, these are 3 priests that just never going to see the light of day again. Really didn't get that much value in this game.
Ooh.
And it's plays like that that are going to allow the Viper to basically be unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know, that are going to allow him to be so oppressive on the map.
And those 3 priests were so needed because SingSing is investing in tier 3. They would have given Inner Fire, which gives 5 armor and 10% damage output. You can put that on heroes. It was very useful in the previous game, though it wasn't quite enough. So now he has to start remaking those priests. He is understanding the concept well to stay at 50. Might get a creep jack against the Viper, though. Viper realizes, hey, I don't need to creep. I already have TC level 5. Boom. Thunderclap level 1. War Stomp
Yeah,
level
the
3.
Turin Chieftain's going to move in here for a big stomp.
Ooh.
Chain
And
lightning.
now, I mean, I don't
That
know, these
stun was
riflemen are
long.
so squishy. We're seeing the kiting happen, and now it's the 2 heroes separated from the rest of the riflemen and the priest. And it's the same story over and over and over again. It's going to be a retreat back towards the base. A lot of low HP units here that will be picked off. The hero's getting surrounded right now. I don't know if the Mountain King can make it back here.
That is incredible. That is incredible. GG by SingSing. The Viper wins. Tasteless, we're going to get both of them in the post-game.
Humanity.
Oh, thank you,
will
Lexi.
We
rise.
may have some questions
It's
for them as
about
well. We're going to
time.
get their thoughts soon.
Never trust an elf.
Yeah, I got to ask him how I can expand with my Crypt Lord versus Farseer. That's the first thing I'm going to ask.
Thank you very much to Alexiev. Welcome to the Alexiev Raiders. Hopefully you had a lovely stream. We're just catching up on the Grubby tournament. It's basically where streamers are invited to play against one another. And this is a best of 5 series. The first round brackets against SingSing and the Viper. Honestly, I feel like Alexiev could play in one of these tournaments too. If Grubby does another one, maybe you should promote yourself a little bit, Alexiev, or I'll mention it.
On the match day.
Yeah, well, I guess everybody had such a short amount of time that I think no one's MMR is exactly like where it would be if you had a couple months to kind of figure out your cruising altitude.
True. True. Wow.
Tomorrow.
Okay, so SingSing does not make it through, despite many comebacks and hanging in there when the game looked like it was lost. So that is the highest ranked MMR player in this tournament, being knocked out by the Viper there. So is MMR just a number? Because you got the 1643 from SingSing and the 1300 from the Viper. And it really does put the tournament a little bit up in its head. So it's not so clear cut now if SingSing is going to win. He does still have a chance because he'll move into the lower brackets round where he can fight his way back. And we'll have to see just how that will work out for him. But for now, for this section, we will say adieu to the YouTube and thanks for watching. And I'll continue to cover the games as they come. Have a good one.